So I will just dip the cheese in it because I'm Dutch and I love dipping cheese.
And
Oh,
with
dang
that
it. I.
bombshell,
Oh. I thought I taught you to sleep.
are we ready to begin?
Certainly
Yeah.
am.
Okay. It has been a long road to get to where we are. All things like this, all stories have a beginning and an end. You made the beginning, and the middle, and each choice you made along the way, and now we find you at the very end. The camera pans across a Scottish highland in the dark. Dark, twisted hills and moors springing out of the darkness as silhouettes. Until the city appears. This flickering sort of cavern of life. As the camera gets closer, it spreads down onto the tableau, frozen in moment. On top of a dark cage, Elizabeth Weiss and her wife, Alison, stand atop a cage, frozen in movement as they pull open the top, as if to jump below. Down in the audience surrounding this gigantic cage, the audience are frozen in a moment of cheers and screams, half of them roaring in excitement, the other ones shaking their heads in disgust, some of them just sort of noticing the voice that comes through. In amongst the crowd are three figures. We see the face of Maddie Nealon, her hand outstretched as she had still flung across the phone that exploded, the phone battery that exploded, sorry. Watching, her eyes fixed on her friend, Thomas Dale, sprawled, cut, almost to the point of death, and slouching against the side of the cage. Beside her is Nahia, giant hulking woman with massive muscular strength, who is trying to take control of this situation but doesn't seem to know how. A little ways away from them is Dante, white-knuckled against the railing as he leans forwards and screams into the arena beyond him. Up beyond them, still following this frozen scene, we get to the top of the guest box. Up here, all the rich and successful of the mythos gather in one place. Anton Lynch stands, barely perturbed by the violence about to occur in front of him, his arms folded behind his back, an annoyed expression on his face like he's pissed off by this whole thing. Beside him, not too far away, is Ned Halford. Ned is frozen in the moment of looking across and seeing several people all moving at once. In front of him, the man they call the Scottish Play has drawn his great claymore and is holding it in a battle stance, as up the stairs stands a series of familiar faces. Gillian Gale, the man who came to you a while ago looking for murderers, at the very beginning of all of this, is holding a pistol to the air, smoke still twirling off its barrel as he fires off the warning shot. His face a mask of sadness, determination, controlled, smirking satisfaction, and fear. Behind him stands a rather tall figure with a thick beard, twisted, wiry hair, and large bugs that are already crawling off his skin and leaping down onto the ground to form into even gianter bugs. With all of this happening, the camera is going to swirl around for this moment. What are each of you thinking? I would like a monologue from each of you.
Elizabeth, go first. You were so ready with the whole thing. I mean, I need to hear it now.
What?
Should
You're
Elizabeth
telling me
go
you're not
first?
prepared.
I don't know. We're up in the box already. I think Ned should go first.
Right, can I
That's
get
true.
wacky?
You can get wacky. How wacky?
Not
Go
that,
wacky.
not
Fuck
as
it.
wacky
Go
as
for it. Go
last
for it.
time.
Go for it. Go wacky. Go wacky.
Okay.
Okay, stop being a DM for the moment.
Okay. Okay. So, once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a king. He was the greatest king in all the land, and all the peasants loved him and cheered for him, and he was great. And then one day, he gets invited to an event that only kings go to, with a bunch of kings from a different land, with a bunch of peasants that don't know him. And the king feels as though he needs to make a very good impression. But then, as they're watching the competition and enjoying the pleasantries, a group of other kings from a different country invade in the middle of it. And now the king must choose, in all his greatness, whether to side with the peasants that love him so dearly, whether to fight against the kings who invited him, or with them. There's a lot on this king's plate, a lot on his mind, but at the end of the day, he's still a king.
Okay. We leave Ned there as these thoughts cross through his mind. The Scottish play is standing in front of him, almost ironically, sort of between him and the oncoming threat of Gillian and whatever else Gillian is bringing into this situation. And the camera is going to zoom out of the guest box, past the glass, leaving the rich and famous. The last silhouette you see is Anton Lynch, still arms folded behind his back. The only thing you notice different is that two of his fingers are flicked out towards something on his left side. As the camera pulls out of that room, it returns to the arena and sweeps along until it reaches Maddie Leland. What are you thinking?
Oh god. Not really much going through Maddie Nealon's mind right now. The best way to describe it would be a very rapid heartbeat and some very fast punk rock. That's it.
Camera lingers on Maddie, and for a moment all you hear is that roaring of guitars and drums and bass smashing into this cacophony of angry noise. Her face twisted into a sneer of joy and fear and excitement as the camera passes over her and lands on Dante. What are you thinking?
I don't see them. There is a little girl in a cage, and right now, in this room, I don't see anyone else. I can hear Elizabeth and Allison land on top of the cage. I can hear Niles and his diatribe and pieces of puzzles click into place in my head, but I don't see them. There is a little girl in a cage, and all around me, in a sea of indifference, are monsters and monsters alone. There is a little girl in a cage, and they are cheering and whistling and gasping, not in terror but in delight. And right now, in this moment, I just want them dead! There is a little girl in a cage. Nothing else matters.
The camera lingers on Dante, fingers white against the banister that he holds onto, and opposite, the camera turns to the young girl, the person they called Spider, blood pouring from her wounds, the deep cut on her chest, her eyes no longer filled with the killing glee, but now filled with fear, as she slouches sort of against the corner of this cage. The camera pans across to a man in a shabby, sort of brownish suit. Dark skin and extremely drab appearance. The sort of person you would expect to find as a librarian or as some other nondescript job. He is exceptional only in his lack of interesting appearance. His hands are outstretched as he gestures to the various heads of the statues around him, each one of them a being twisted between mortality and some other monstrous incarnation, and the head of his wife behind him. Above him, before even his own notice, two people are crouched at the top of the cage as the cage is being opened. Elizabeth Weiss and her wife. As the camera turns up towards you, Elizabeth, can you give us your narrative, please?
I've always brought bad luck to schools, to community gatherings, families, foster care, art galleries, universities. What does it say about me that wherever I went, I left behind dead bodies? That I'm bad luck to be around? That I'm a horrible person who fate has decided to punish? That I'm followed by death? Or that I'm scared, and the only way I knew how to handle it is to run away? I'm picturing those bright amber eyes on that rainy night in the graveyard. They remind me of what I'm scared. They remind me of a down on their luck young German artist, struggling to finally allow themselves to feel appreciation. They remind me of a pair of warm arms and the sounds of a guitar strumming. They remind me of a swirling heat of an all-consuming fire. Those bright amber eyes, they remind me of death, of what I'm scared to lose, scared to face. But I will face it, if only for her.
And all at once, in this moment that isn't a moment of silence, everything roars back all at once. The sound of screams, the looking of Niles as he stares up to the box, the turning of hundreds of heads all at once looking to the doors as people move into this area below, as they move into the area above. Anton Lynch's quiet curse beneath his mouth, the crying bang of the gun as it cracks through the air, the screams of Dante, and the whimper of pain of the girl as she clutches her chest. All of these happen all at once as noise smashes into the moment. And it is in this point that I'm going to ask all of you, what do you do
Okay. Dante, while still holding on the railing, seeing the result of what just happened, just says, "Hold on, Lily. Hold on a minute." Runs to Nahia. Just runs towards her. Sorry, Lee, I know I'm putting you in this position immediately, but this is gonna
Hi,
happen.
Nahia, how are you doing?
Work my way through the crowd. Get to Nahia and say, "I need to be in there. Can you get me in there?"
She, without hesitation, says, "I can get you in there."
Let's go.
Okay.
So he needs in the ring?
At the moment, all you can see is Niles in the ring, two people bloody on either side, Spider on one side and Thomas Dale on the other, and Dante has run up to you and said, "I need to get into that ring." What are you doing?
How high up is the ring?
The ring is suspended in the air in like a large circular bowl that is a couple of feet away from you. It's not too far. It's like 5 feet jump outwards, but it's slightly like suspended up in the air. But there's sand in the bottom of it, and there's like ground in the bottom of it. There's some way that it's holding the bottom of it, but once past the dirt of it, it turns into cage.
Okay.
And there's an opening upstairs, right? So
There's an opening at the very top, yeah.
she can get me to where Elizabeth.
And there's opening. There's sort of doors. There's 2 doors on either side of it with planks that lead up, but the planks are gone at the moment. The doors are closed.
Okay. She goes, "If I give you enough of a boost, can you do the rest?"
Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry, just gonna log into my account.
Okay. Are you giving him like a push-up? Like a flip-up?
Yeah.
Okay. As Dante puts his foot in your arms and you go to pull him up, whilst that's happening, up in the main, in the sort of the posh room, Gillian Gales has raised a pistol above his head and has pulled the trigger, the cracking blast of which has echoed out throughout this room. Ned Halford, you turn to see Gillian Gales standing there, and behind him, 3 other figures that are moving into this room. The first of which is a figure. Did you go into the Donovan? You didn't go into the Donnelly House caverns, did you? You didn't.
Not the caverns after we were.
It was Nahia. No, it was just Nahia. You
Just
do
Nahia,
not. You do
yeah.
not recognize then the figure that steps forwards and the bugs that crawl down his arms like massive fucking ticks or leeches or some sort of weird thing that flick off his arm and they land and they begin to and grow and get bigger and bigger. As Gillian Gales goes, "Hello, I'm Gillian Gale, and I have brought some murderers." And as he says that and the gun cracks off, the various creatures begin to go and become running forwards towards the Scottish play and his various associates.
Can I make a roll within all the chaos to try and see if I can figure out where Elizabeth, Maddie, and Dante?
This is gonna be okay. I'm gonna let you look around for free. You look around. If you're just like jerking around looking, this is gonna take up some of the time that you have. But do you want to do that?
I mean, for now, no.
Okay.
But if I were to do that, it would not be a...
It wouldn't be a roll.
Just be
You would
time
get some
cost.
information, but it would take some of the time you have as you look around and appraise the situation.
Well, I don't think I have that much time in general anyway. So I kind of just... I kind of do nothing. I duck
Okay.
for cover, I guess, but not enough so that I can't see what's happening.
Okay, so you dive behind the nearest sofa, and you look over, and you can see that the Scottish play has drawn his double-handed claymore and is stepping forwards. Puck, Hamlet, and Othello are standing beside him as they face whatever creatures are coming off this figure in the center. Gillian Gale stands beside him, pistol raised, and behind you, very close by, you can see Anton Lynch has not moved an inch. His hand's still behind his back. He's just watching this as if he's really pissed off or really bored. Down
I
back
know
in
the feeling. I know the feeling.
down back in the arena, Elizabeth, what are you doing?
Quick question. No, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna do, and then for the role, I'm gonna ask a quick question. We are not opening the hatch yet, or at least I'm not opening it yet. I have no plans of jumping inside with Niles. Thank you very much. But we are on top. I just got his attention by spewing some German at him.
Oh yes, he has. Yeah, he has
gonna,
looked up. Yeah.
I'm gonna tighten my hand around Allison's, and as I stare down back at him, I say, "How'd you like to feel the fucking weight of your sins for once?" And I would like to pass judgment on him.
Yes!
He's unaware. He was not prepared for this. You have bamfed out of nowhere. I'm going to allow this as a hit with all you've got.
Fuck yeah.
So my question there was, I still have free juice from French kiss. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
French kiss.
I will allow French kiss 3
so
juice.
So that adds to my result, right?
You want to add all of this into one roll? You can do that. That's good.
If that means I can fucking hit him hard from the
Go
start,
for it.
yes, please.
Okay. Add 3 to this roll.
I mean, I still have gem likes us if I need it later on today. All right. Right, I think that's just 2. Yep, alright. Let's roll. Oh, that's still a great success.
Oh. Wow. A bad roll, but still a great success. Okay, that is a power 5. What do you want to do with that?
Alright. So can I only choose 2? Yeah.
Only choose 2.
You give them a tier.
You give them a tier
equal
plus
to your power.
tier, yeah.
Status. So you already give him a status, and you just choose 2 things on top of that.
I already give him a status, and I choose 2 things. Curious. I think so. Can I then? So I inflict the status. Can I then take? Then that status is gonna be 5. All right. Can I take the secure a superior position so that they can't hit you back and then gain the upper hand?
And where's the gain the upper hand? Yeah, I will allow the gain upper hand. Okay. So how would you describe your gaining the upper hand? What is the juice that you get?
I want to do something with the fact that the head of his literal dead wife is there, and maybe like from just like the side of his view, he can for a moment think he actually sees like the face moving of like his wife actually being there.
I'm gonna say so. So each of these stone heads, by the way, has like a covering over their mouth. As you smash, you say this, and with the pure weight of all of your power, you push it down on him. Now, he has a resistance to mythical abilities, but even with that, you're obviously going to continue to do damage to him with a power of 6 altogether. Your power smashes into him. And for a moment, he sort of staggers beneath it, the pure weight of it all hitting him. And seemingly out of random, the covering on his wife's sort of statue mannequin falls 3. And all that he hears is an ear-piercing scream coming from her mouth. And in that moment, you see his eyes screw up in agony, as he is going to take the condition 3 What would you name this? Weight of
Sinful bastard.
sinful bastard. I will take that. Right.
Nice.
The pure weight of this smashes into him, and he goes from standing, his arms raised, into one knee, pain coursing through his body. So you took the actions, get them good, tier +1, and gain the juice, gain the upper hand. You will not get the superior position and can't hit back, so he will hit you back for this. So he is going to use, as this smashes into him, he goes, "Ah!" and his hands flick out, and you watch as ribbons come flying out of his sleeves. They go flying up towards you. I'm going to need you to make a face danger against,
Shit, here we go again.
Oh, wait a minute. Wouldn't I be there by then?
You're moving at this point, but this is an action-reaction type thing.
Okay.
This is going to be the beard of a woman. I need you to take a face danger against beard of a woman. So status
Beard of
4.
what?
The beard of a woman, status 4.
Okay.
So what do I need? I just need to roll face danger.
Face
right?
danger, yeah. And as his hands extend, by the way, you start to hear that same whispering you heard right before you died. The roots of a mountain, spittle of a bird, beer of woman, sinew of a bear, stomping of a cat, breath of a fish, and it continues, rhythmic, as he starts to do this.
All right. I'm not gonna argue for any others, but would a sharp eye help, as in like reaction time?
Yes, I'll allow that.
That's the only one I'm gonna.
That's the only one.
The only one I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah, give me a
because. Yeah, no.
Can I help?
Do you have a help action with her?
Yes.
Then
yes.
yes.
To
Of
you.
course he does. He's got like 10 of them.
Well, yes, you can use one.
I think when I land on the cage, I'll just, seeing that, we'll try to weight it a bit so that the ribbons try and miss her. That works,
We're
right?
swinging on a fucking.
They're
cage.
way above you.
Yeah,
They're way above you
we're
on
on
the
a disco
cage.
ball.
They're way above you. They're at the top of the cage. If you were jumping onto the cage, oh no, you're being thrown
Yeah,
onto
but
the
my
cage. You're
impact
being
will
thrown
still
onto the
affect the
cage.
cage.
Yeah, I'll allow that. Okay, yeah, I'll allow that as a help action. By the way,
Alright.
can you give me Nahia? Can you give me? Actually, I mean that's within your power ability. You don't need to roll me for that. I'm going to say you can if you just want to just pump him up there. Right,
Alright,
that is
I got
a
a
great
great
success.
Yo.
The tendrils of the ribbon start to wrap around your legs, and you start to pull off. And as you pull off, there's a shuddering noise as Dante hits the side of the cage, and the cage shocks from one side to the other.
Ah, shice.
And you pull back from the ribbons, and the ribbons snare instead on the edge of the cage. Where they hit the metal of the edge of the cage, the iron of the cage bends and warps beneath them. Though these things look delicate and soft, they are brutally strong. Fear summons them back to him and goes, You should be dead! And he flicks his hands again, and he's going to throw up a tendril of ribbons up towards you. At the same time, Maddie, Nahia, what are you doing?
So if one were to try and get onto this cage, I'm not trying to get onto the top of it. I'm trying to get to the
Jumping
side
onto
where
it, relatively easy. You're going to have to stand up on the banister, jump, and just like catch it, and you'll swing a bit.
Yeah,
That'll be it.
we'll do that. Maddie
Not
is
going to ask for a
do
check for that.
on
You can
the
do that.
side of one of the doors.
Okay, beside one of the doors, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit more movement to do. That's going to take your whole action because you're going to have to move right to the edge of the door, which is where Thomas Dale actually is, beside one of the doors.
Ooh.
You have
See,
to
how
move
thick
the
is
whole way
this?
around.
How thick is this cage?
Pretty
Metal.
So I'm going to say you jump up on the railing and you jump and you land with a whoomph against it and it swings. They are thick. They're about sort of like that, like your hands are gripping that size kind of metal rungs.
Definitely.
You can tear through them. It'll take your whole action to tear through them.
Yeah. Gonna go for the door in that case. Just gonna rip that one off.
So as you land, actually, you're with your mythos. Yeah, you can crawl pretty quickly.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'd say.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say you sort of just make your way around to the door. That's going to take your whole action, but you're around the door and you can see through the gaps in the sort of sections of metal. Thomas Dale is standing there slumped, blood pouring off 100 different cuts across his chest. His two-handed sword slumped against his legs. He's half breathing. He turns to look at you and you see that his left eye has been pierced and is just exploded, blood pouring down the left side of his face.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get in there as quickly as possible, but it will take some time.
He just looks at you and goes, "Alright, Green Machine."
Hang in there.
As you say that, Nahia, what are you doing? By the way, Nahia, you turn and you see that the crowd, by the way, is dispersing at the moment. Coming from the way all of you guys entered, two figures have emerged into the arena. The first of them is a giant hulking man with massive hair covering his body and warts and a fucking huge head with gigantic tusks that come out in a curved sort of spike out of his face. His face is a mask of warts and jutting bits of bone as he steps out into the arena. Behind him is something a bit more insidious, some creature of shadow and sliminess, sort of seems to slither across the side of the wall, almost melding into the wall as it crawls across it, half human, half something else. Most of the audience are pulling away at this point. What are you doing?
That's a good question. I feel like I always answer like that. Where's Dante at this point?
Dante is on the edge. You chucked him up, and he went whoomph up onto the top of the cage. He has landed on the top of the cage, and you can look up and you can see he's there with Elizabeth and Elizabeth's wife as the cage sort of swings beneath them a little bit.
Because someone's gonna have to watch for the new ones. Someone's gonna have to watch these two. So originally she was gonna hop on the cage, and now she's gonna stay down there. Her back is now to the cage. I think at this point she's just sizing those two up, mentally ready to
get ready. So you watch as the two figures that come out. A lot of the rich people, by the way, are seeming to disappear through a variety of methods. Some of them popping out of existence, some of them turning into water and melding with the grounds, others sort of disappearing in whatever method they can find. The ones that are left are trying to run in whatever direction they can. One of them gets close to the boar figure and he goes and rips, and his tusk strikes across a woman in an evening dress and cuts her just in half. She falls to the ground, blood pumping, and he goes and roars out an echoing challenge as he sort of sees you across the room. At the same time as he does, you watch as a man steps out in between these two figures. Long, flowing kind of duster jacket, rocker look to him, tangled hair, earrings and piercings all across his face. He steps forward and stands there for a moment as wings begin to burst out of his back and his face begins to morph into a bat-like clawed features. He goes, "Kill them all!" And he begins to take to the air and fly up into the air. There's three of them now altogether. As we leave you there, up in the upper box, Ned Halford, what are you doing?
Who's left? Who hasn't skipped it?
So you watch as a number of the rich folk here have disappeared flashes. In sort of flashes of light. You recognize a number of them disappearing one after the other. Gasper LeSean shouts something and goes sort of, "Fuck this!" Disappears, is gone. Behind him, not far off, Esper Castine goes, "Oh, fuck it," and disappears as well. Beyond her, Gabriel as well molds into the glass and is gone. And finally, Hamada Chiro stands up, sort of looks at you across the room, his eyes meeting yours, Ned, as he sort of steps back and molds into nothing and disappears. The only one left is a number of sort of rich folk who don't seem to have a quick exit, and Anton Lynch himself, who stands unperturbed. As you watch, Anton seems to have his hands behind his back, his 2 fingers extended, as if he's reaching for something. You hear a whooshing noise, and out of the darkness, a Roman gladius comes flying through the air and slaps into the palm of his hand.
That's nice. I would like to ask a question that seems unrelated to this now. Is the guy at the betting desk still there?
The guy at the betting desk is still there. He watches as everyone comes in and is sort of just looking from the people coming in to the people still arriving, goes, Lisa again.
Okay. I would like to go to the guy at the betting.
He's
Right.
across. He's like closer to. He's on the other side, so he's closer to Gillian and the person summoning bugs. You'd have to cross across to get to him.
I would like to go to Anton Lynch, stand next to him, and just be like, just stand up, try and be upright, you know? Just be like, I know the feeling. Need any help?
You go over to him as you say this. One of the bugs has leaped into the air and the Scottish play has slashed it as another sort of lands on Puck's shoulders, and Puck goes, get off me, and starts stabbing it madly as the bug falls off, but more just seems to be flopping and falling off this guy's body. Anton Lynch stands there, the Roman gladius now in his hand, he goes, yeah, mine. This is fucking glorious.
It is. That was a lie. I don't. This is getting way out of fucking hand, but I say that it's. And I assume a battle stance, I guess. I take out the tie and the umbrella.
You take out the tie and the umbrella. Right. Okay. Give me a change the game for the give me a change the game.
James, what do I add to this?
Your gold, you're gonna add the bonus of the Aegis of Crimson Aegis, sorry. You're gonna add Crimson Aegis to this, and you're also gonna add suit to this.
Oh, okay, so I
you're adding 2 to this
pants?
plus fancy pants? No.
But that's the suit, right?
Suit's already added. So you've got 2. So you've got Crimson Aegis plus the suit already.
Okay, so Crimson Aegis is its own thing?
It's its own thing.
Okay, so that would be.
It's not gonna last
3.
forever though. Okay.
It's gonna be plus 3,
Plus
right?
3, yeah, go for it.
Change the game.
That is a 14. Okay.
Nice.
You pull the umbrella out with one arm, with your left arm, as you pull the tie off with the other. The tie flicks and into a long golden sword. As it does, the suit along your side goes and begins to form into golden armor. The umbrella in your left hand forming into a golden shield. What are you spending your juice on?
Can I use this as a role to like wink at Gillian Gale that I'm not actually gonna, you know? Like, because if I can't do that, I'll have it be a separate
I will allow you
role
to use
later.
one of them as a wink at Gillian Gale, and the other 2, yeah.
Oh, okay, so I get 3?
Well, you've got 3. You've got power of 3.
Okay.
So
All right.
one of them is you're using as a wink at Gillian Gale. What are you using the other 2 for?
Okay, hide the effect and any other MC thing.
Hide the
any other
effect?
MC.
I'm gonna say hide the
I-
effect's
the-
gonna be hard with that you're making
Listen,
your whole body
I'm
into
gonna-
gold. Okay.
No, listen. Here's my plan. I'm gonna create a story tag, which is gonna be like on Anton's side, right?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna make another improvement, which is Gillian knows, and then I'm gonna hide the Gillian knows effect.
Okay, I got you. Okay, right. You stand beside Anton as you turn the umbrella into gold, your suit turns into gold, and the sword shifts into a golden blade beside your hand as you stand beside Anton. He holds just this Roman gladius. This short, thick blade, almost something in a combination between a butcher's blade and an overlarge knife. and you kind of get a scale of him. Standing beside him, there's a feeling of overwhelming capability. Like this person is just brimming with aggressive potential, as if he could snap anything in his way if it got to him. As he stands there holding the gladius, you notice there's not an inch of worry or uncertainty around him. The Scottish play in Puck and Hamlet and Othello continue to battle against the bugs that are now swarming, hundreds of them now, off this guy's body as they jump off, hit the ground, roll, become bigger, and continue to press forward. Gillian is now lowering the pistol towards both of you, and he goes like, "Give me fear!" As he says that, Dante, Elizabeth, Allison, Maddie, Nahia, what are you doing?
Dante goes up to the trapdoor, kicks it in.
It's already
nods
open.
to Elizabeth
It's already
and
open.
Allison. Okay. Nods to Elizabeth and Allison, says, "Ladies," and just jumps in.
Okay, you land with a thud. Your knees sort of a bit painful with the landing because it's quite far, but it's enough. It's not enough to like incapacitate you. As you hit the ground and land, Fear is standing not far from you. His hand extended as the ribbons are trailing above
do something
you.
nice for Dante.
What are you doing?
I wanna make this a combo move.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Interesting.
Go for
So
it.
I want like, just the thing is, I was going to say something to him and yet again try to push him down with it. But I think it would be really good timing if she says it while like Dante is about
Okay,
to
go for it, go for it,
like,
yeah.
lands and stuff. So while he does that, Elizabeth is going to try to keep hitting the way she does best, is by guilt tripping people. So she still looks down at Niles. He was still screaming murder at her, and she says, "You killed your own wife! And for what? Maybe you're not scared of death, but you should be scared of the dead." And she's gonna like take a shaky breath, like focus, and try to close her eyes for a second and see if she can tune into the dead souls that are probably attached to the 7 heads down there. Because they may be vengeful. They may want
Right.
to have a piece of him.
That is
They
not
may
going to be
around.
attached to that. I'm afraid that's not attached to Dante's movement. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Dante lands, missing the ribbons by an inch as he sort of lands as they all swirl up towards Elizabeth and Allison. Allison, by this point as well, is sort of like looking fearful, hand sort of raised, ready to help
I
you.
look
but not
at Lily
really.
first.
You land. Lily is to your right, blood still pouring from her, looking less like the monstrous killer that she was in the arena, more like a little girl.
She never was a monstrous killer, mate.
Yeah, but just the creature that she was while she was attacking the person. And across to Thomas as well, who is there just bleeding out at the moment. You hit the
run to
ground.
Lily.
Okay. Niles is not even looking at you as you run to Lily. His ribbons are now extended towards Elizabeth and Allison. You run past him, and he sort of gives you a half-momentary glance, growls, and just lets you pass. You run on.
I run to Lily.
You
How's
reach Lily. She is panting, blood pouring from just a deep gash of the sword that hit her shoulder and went right up.
I immediately get my shirt off of my body and I just press it towards the wound.
The second you get close to her, she starts moving away from you. All of her tattoos turn into little limbs that are pushing away from you a little bit. I need you to give me a convince check, please. Oh no, say what you want to say first and then give me a convince.
Your name is Lily. Lily Stone.
Shut up! Fuck off!
Do you remember? Your name is Lily. You're Lily Stone. You're a precocious child. You liked writing. You liked doodling. Your parents told you you were a clever girl. They said that even though you were different from all the other girls, you were still special.
Give me a
remember
convince. Give me a convince check, please.
Okay. Doesn't miss a detail because I know for her parents. I literally covered this in the flashback. It's my broad tag as well.
I'll allow it, yeah. I'll allow it as your broad tag.
I am on your side.
Yes, definitely.
Commanding presence. I don't come.
You're
off
not
as a
commanding
threat to
her. This is slightly different, though.
Fair enough, but I'm not coming off as a threat. Is what I mean.
Yeah, but commanding
I'm on
presence
this side.
comes across as like
All right,
commanding. Yeah,
We have this conversation
Yeah.
every time. We need to like iron it out at some point.
I
All
would
right,
just
speak
say
to Elizabeth.
commanding presence is sort of like commanding someone. You're not commanding this person. You're appealing to them.
Happened many times and I still used it though. But anyway.
I'm torn on it. I'm gonna say no this time. It just doesn't work.
Okay, but look at it from another
Objection.
angle because
Objection. I don't know if it counts in this situation or not, but it has happened in the past that he used commanding presence as in like someone needs to listen to him, like not because he's asking something of them or like commanding them for something,
Also-
but just
Commanding
because his
them to
presence
listen.
is like
Okay.
also
he's like-
to
he has
Alright.
a dominant
Mate,
presence.
we
you
talked
know?
about this many times, and also to be like completely fair, the way you want me to use this tag, I've never used it. So like when you say you've been I've never commanded people to do
Yeah,
stuff.
true. You haven't. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. All right. Yeah. Roll it. Yeah.
Convince, please work.
That is a great success.
Neato.
Right. You starts to say this to her, and for a moment she seems to sort of
Let me
stop
help.
pulling away from you. How do you know who I am?
I've been looking for someone like you.
As you say that, the ribbons at this point are now arcing up towards you, Elizabeth and Allison. What are you doing? Oh, as well, sorry, I forgot to say, Elizabeth, you are going to take an entangle 1 because you made an action against fear, so you automatically get an entangled 1.
Can I ask something, though?
Automatically.
Yes.
Before this whole thing starts, can I ask something? Does she let me get my shirt and press it against the
Yes,
wall?
she does. Yeah.
Okay.
You notice the wound on her
Mama.
is not like a death wound. It's just a bad wound. It's just a wound that will heal. She's not going to die, but she's in pain. The ribbons arc towards you. One of them sort of flicks around your foot a little bit, Elizabeth. You are going to take an entangled 1. Let me just check.
I took it. I took
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. You watch as Allison also gets an entangled 1 as the ribbon wraps also around her leg a little bit. What are you doing now as the ribbons extend towards you? And Elizabeth and Maddie, what are you two doing?
Nahia.
I'm pretty sure you're
Nahia.
talking about Nahia. Yeah.
Nahia, fuck.
Maddie, if I may, since this kind of neatly follows up on what Dante is doing, at this point, Maddie breaks open the door and rips a bar out of it. It's
Okay. The door is
like
not
a metal rod.
The
Is that
door is not
possible?
a normal human door. I'm gonna say
But it does take.
you are specifically good at ripping shit. I'm gonna say you are able to do that. Yeah. You get to the door and your hand
Specifically
goes.
metal.
Your hand goes into the sort of door and you go as it rips into the metal, and there's a crunching noise as the metal bolt just is ripped free of the door,
Awesome.
and the door swings open. You are now
Does it
in the
have,
circle.
Does it have like metal rods or something that I can use as a makeshift bat or something?
There's a metal rod built into it you can use as a makeshift bat.
Love it. Yeah, rip that out so that I have a weapon, and I say to Thomas, right, get out of here, and
He sort of looks at
quickly.
you, blood smeared across his face as you say this, and he sort of just looks at you and goes, all right. Tries to like half stand and slumps into the sand immediately.
Hey Dante, get her out of here. I say before running straight towards danger, straight towards fear. I'm gonna try and.
What did you say?
All right, Dante, get her out of here.
You
Before-
tend to your own, Naylan.
I think he was talking about
She doesn't even
Spider.
listen. Yeah.
I understood.
And Maddie, runs towards fear. She's gonna try and hit him in the hit him in the. He controls the ribbons with his arms, right?
He just seems to control the
Or at
ribbons
least
altogether. That's what you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go straight for one of the arms. Gonna
'Kay.
try and whack it.
As you attack him, you are going to take an ensnared one. As the second you start to get close to him, a ribbon rolls around you. I need you to give me a. This is going to be go toe to toe.
Go toe to toe. I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Would tear through metal work since I'm using this this makeshift bat? Oh, improvised upgrades.
I will give you improvised upgrades, not tear
that
through
will
metal.
fit better.
Yeah, that will fit better.
Underground fist fighter.
Yep.
We use props. Nerves of steel. I'm literally fighting someone called Fear.
The nerves of steel aren't going to cause
I
damage
know-
to
I
him.
know-
They're not
How
going
would
to
you
cause
get to
damage
this
to
point
him.
without nerves of
The
steel?
nerves aren't causing damage to him. If you are resisting one of his effects, which he does have, which cause
Gotcha.
fear, yes, but the nerves aren't going to be
Alright.
causing damage to him.
Can I help make a case?
Oh,
Yeah.
Nerves of steel would be partially what caused Maddie to go after him.
Yeah, but it's the nerves. The point is that the amount of the tags are what's going to cause the damage to him,
Okay.
and
I
her having
agree
nerves
with
of
you.
steel aren't going to cause more damage to him.
yeah.
You know.
I agree with you, Matt.
Yeah.
In fact, I do have a very fun one. I may not be using my cane, which is currently laying on the ground somewhere, but can I tag a trusty cane since I have used it in this way before?
I will allow that. Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, I'll allow that. That's fair enough.
Here we go toe to toe with a +3. Wait, does the ensnare work against me?
The snare does work against you, yes.
That's
So
what
minus
I
one.
thought. Alright, with a +2. Go toe to toe. That's a 10!
That's
Woo!
a 10. Great success.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Alright, I am giving him a tier called, a status called, let's say, bludgeoned 2.
Okay.
And I block, dodge, or counter is best
Okay.
attempts.
I'm afraid bludgeoned is a non-mythical attack.
That's right.
So as you run forward and clock him across the face with this thing, he sort of
Arm.
goes, swings back, and then just looks back at you, goes, "You little shit." And you see that he's barely sort of being perturbed by it. It's just sort of cracked across his skull and barely hit him at all. Yeah. That was a bludgeon 2 with you're going to avoid his best attempts to get back at you.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
And you do avoid as a circle of ribbons go out to where you were a second before, missing you by an inch. All right. As that hits nothing, Nahia, what are you doing?
I have to unmute before I talk. Does she know Ned is up in the rich person box?
You haven't seen him. You don't know where he is. You didn't see him go up into the rich box before. At the moment, all you can see is the giant boar-like creature is now moving through the crowd. His tusks have gored several more people, and he's roaring in like delight. The bat-like creature has flown into the air, and the weird, stickily sort of like melded thing is crawling along the walls. And you watch in disgust as it sort of latches onto a person and sucks them into the wall and begins suffocating them against the wall. It seems Gillian Gale. It seems like Gillian Gale got some murderers when he said he was going to get some murderers.
Some damn murderers when he said
I
he was gonna
would
get
like to
murdered.
say you might not know where it is, but I did explain to the people like to be in the rich person when I am at this event. Like she knows I'm not in just the crowd, you know. Like, she might not know where the box would be, but
That's true.
I definitely said that I wouldn't be in.
She said he'd be in the box, but she doesn't know where the box is. You're going to take it. If you want to look for the box, I mean, it's up there in the glass thing. You'll see it quite quickly, but do you want to look for that?
I was less thinking of looking for it and just calling out for him.
Calling out for him. Okay. Are you just shouting Ned? What are you doing?
Halford, get your ass down here would be the exact words.
Okay. You shout that at the top of your lungs. Far up in the big box, you hear the echoing through the glass, reverberating call of Halford, get your ass back here. Sort of comes up behind you.
Okay, I hear this. I assume Anton hears this as well.
Anton hears this. At the same time, by the way, Gillian has now lowered his pistol, is pointing it at both of you, and Boris is offloading bugs at more of a scale now. And at this point, he is stepping forwards, and he's opened up one of his maps, and at the same time as he opened up one of his maps, his jaw is extending. And he's sort of growing, his mouth is growing larger.
Okay. I yell as this is all happening. Hey, bookkeeper.
Yes?
I have a bet for you. If
Yeah.
I'm still alive in the morning, me and Anton Lynch are best friends. How's that sound?
The bookkeeper looks from Boris and Gillian Gale, who now has the pistol in the air. Boris forming into this open-jawed creature, the map in front of him, the bugs falling off him, whilst beside him, another figure who was human before is now turning into a weird centaur-like thing, all flesh and bone, half human, half horse, and hybrid, crawling up beside Boris. The bookkeeper looks to that, looks to you, looks to Anton Lynch and goes, 40-1?
I'm a gambling man.
Very well.
I say, well, this has been great, Anton. I owe some people some debts. And I would like to do a thing. I don't just jump out. I would like to turn... Okay, there's a couch here, right?
Yeah.
Is it a really big couch?
Yeah.
I would like to touch it, turn it into gold in the hopes it collapses the thing under its weight.
Okay,
The rich... I can
collapses
add my
the
own
box
tooth.
under its weight?
That's
too
add
much
my
to
own
ask.
tooth.
Collapse the box under its weight? Like the box in which you guys are in? Too much
To
to
make the box fall down.
No, too much for
Is there
just,
anything?
no.
Is there anything I can make?
That would be, to get the whole box to collapse, that would be a stop holding back.
Okay.
That's too big. I'm sorry, that's just too big. Like, that's a massive, massive ask.
So can I just have the couch and then have it be a hole?
It's not the way
It's
buildings work.
unnecessary.
Buildings don't just sort of like,
Okay. It's like a suspended over a thing, though, right? Like for the same. Year.
yeah, but it's not. You want to make a hole in the box that you can get out of.
There's like a hole behind us, right? Is there any way
There's
for me
glass behind you.
Yeah.
If you've got a sword in your hand, you can try shatter the glass and jump.
I would
Wait
like
a minute. A sword flew in, so something must be open.
to. Yeah.
Well, something
that's-
flew in
that's
from the
what I'm
side
saying.
room. It didn't fly in from the glass. It flew in from like
No,
a
but
side
like
room
he shot
within
through
here.
the glass, right?
No, he hasn't shot yet. He shot up in the air and he's pointing now at you guys. He hasn't shot through the glass yet. The glass, as of
Alright.
yet, is unbroken. The sword flew in from
I
a
take-
side point. Has not.
Okay,
been.
so I take a pillow. Here's what I do. I take 2 pillows. I take 1 pillow and I throw it.
Your
and
hands
as
are
it-
already
it's-
filled with an umbrella and a sword.
Okay, this has become very difficult to plan. I just jump out the window like I did it.
You want to smash the window and jump out the window? I'll allow that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like, hey, Scottish play, remember this one? I jump out.
right. Give me a... Just give me a face danger as you're facing the danger of falling. As you're going to just turn with your sword, you go whoosh crunch, it smashes the glass, and you leap. Umbrella held in one hand, a sort of makeshift golden shield. Sword in the other hand as you fall into the darkness. What are you doing?
I want to leave a crater.
Poppins!
Yeah. I'm trying to leave a
Poppins.
crater.
Golden poppins.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Solid gold. Always
Solid
in effect.
gold. Always in effect. Yeah.
Instantaneous.
No.
Okay. With surrounded by wealth, because I'm getting out of the place.
Surrounded by wealth, you're getting out of the place. I'll allow surrounded by wealth, yeah. I'll allow surrounded by wealth.
Okay. And so that's +3, and could I tag on shamelessness?
No. There's nothing shameless about this.
Yeah, it wouldn't really help falling and dying. Face danger. Oh, okay.
Yes.
What was that? That is a great success. Right.
Oh my god, bro. I'm so
You
lucky.
tumble through the air, forming into gold as you do, and with a crunch you land on the ground. The umbrella in one hand, the sword in the other, as you crunch into the ground beneath you, lucky not to hit anyone. You turn, slowly. You see behind you is the giant cage, on top of which Dante, Elizabeth, inside of which is Dante, on top of which is Elizabeth and her wife, beside of which is Nahia and Maddie, who is crawling inside the...
Maddie is inside.
Maddie inside. You turn and you see a giant figure of a half-boar, half-human figure roaring towards you. A monstrous, slimy, lizard-like thing that is crawling along the sides, and a bat-like creature that is taken to the air. You're in the middle of it all. I'm going to jump back into the arena now. Maddie, Nahia, Elizabeth, Dante. As Niles stands there, ribbons roaring through the air above him, rocketing towards Elizabeth and her wife. What are all of you doing?
So I was planning to do the cool thingy that I said and look if there are vengeful spirits attached that I could try to summon into our existence. But if the ribbons are coming at us fast, then I will not focus on that for a second and first focus on trying to get Allison to not be entangled by them. So
How are you doing
reaction,
that?
if by literally, like, I have her hand, I cup her face, like, for a second, and I say, everything's going to be all right. And at that moment, I know she's a good heart. I know she's a good soul. I make her lighter so that I can swing her away from the ribbons.
Nice. Okay, right. I need you to give me a... I will allow this as a change of the game or as a face danger, up to you. Face danger, a change of the game sounds, it makes sense to me.
I mean, sure, yeah. I'm just trying to not get her to be entangled.
Okay, give me a change of the game.
All right. I'll use... Yeah, I'll use the one juice from upper hand here as well.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Alright. There we go. A great success.
That is a great success.
Oh
Brilliant.
my God.
Okay. What do you want to do? I'll allow the improvement of sort of like the improvement of refusing the status that he's going to give at the moment and just sort of like getting you out of the situation. I'll allow that and giving you a bonus.
You've got the option to reduce her status, and she's
You could
ensnared,
reduce
right?
his status. Yeah. You could reduce ensnared on both of you.
Right, so I can do that. So, so I have 3 power, so I can choose any of these. So I can use 2 power to reduce both ensnared on myself and Allison, and then I still have 1 power left.
Yeah.
Right? Alright. So I definitely do that.
Okay.
And reduce the entangled on both of us.
Yeah, you can reduce the entangled on both of you, and you still have 1 left.
And then I want to do something. So is that what you were suggesting? Improvement? Because I want to...
You can use the improvement to something to do that you are avoid his hit completely. Yeah, you can avoid that. His next hit.
Well, I'm going to do that for Allison.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. You reach out, grab Allison as you sort of pull away from his various tendrils now pouring up out of the top of the cage. The ribbons missing you by inches as they swirl through the air like disgusting octopus tentacles trying to snag you. You pull away, both of your feet coming free from the various entanglements as you swing around and swing back onto the cage again. Fear looks incredibly frustrated. And at this point, he's going to activate one of his abilities. With a flash, you watch as the ribbons up in the air sort of dissipate. He goes, stands, and with that, he seems to vanish in the air. A single ribbon flops into the air and lands with a sigh on the dust. Dante, Maddie, both of you within the arena, you feel like he is still there, and that he is pressing towards you, and you do not know where he is going to hit. I need both of you at this moment.
Can I do something before I give you that? Because I still need to ask Lily a couple of things. Because
what are you going to say, Lily? Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Yeah, while I'm pressing, I'll just ask her, are you hurt anywhere else?
Who are you?
I'm just trying to help. I am trying to help.
What do you want?
I want to take you back home.
I don't... You're like them, you're gonna kill me.
Never.
She sort of pulls away for a moment, but you can see there's a lack of conviction in her eyes, and she sort of goes... What do you want from me?
I told you already. I want to take you home.
Her eyes glaze for a moment, and she sort of stares at you and then goes... All right.
Your opponent there currently seems immobile, but if you can move, can you get out of this cage? Or is this the safest place?
I can move. And she sort of moves to stand. As she moves to stand, her eyes grow wide, and she moves as if to turn you out of the way, but it's not fast enough. I need both Maddie and Dante to make a face danger, please.
Yeah. As I am facing this danger, realizing what she's trying to do instead, Dante will get closer to her and get her down so none of it hits her. You know, just like...
I get that, yeah.
Her.
Can I use a help point on either of them?
How?
The best way I can think of at the moment is that as this is all happening and he's doing it, you just hear a really loud thud outside of just Ned hitting the floor. And it, like, I guess...
How would 5 provide a distraction, if anything, though?
No, for Dante specifically, I imagine this kind of snaps him out of the whole trying to comfort her thing and realize there's an active threat coming at him.
I would allow to help for Dante, but not for Maddie.
No, that's not going to help
Maddie.
That's
not going to help Maddie. Well, that will help
he's
Dante,
the
not
one
Maddie.
With the child.
Okay. Can I use Nerves of Steel
taking
now?
a help.
I will allow Nerves of Steel. How are you using Nerves of Steel? Give me an explanation.
I'm going literally going toe to toe with man called Fear, out of my own volition.
Okay, Nerves of Steel.
Could have easily run out of here.
Nerves of Steel.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that there's also the only one I can use right now, so I'm very glad to have it. Wait, Does the ensnared work against me, or is the
Yes, it
ensnared
does.
come
You
out
are.
when he's
You have
gone?
come against it. You are ensnared will work against you. You are on a 0 roll. Dante,
Alright,
you also have a 1 ensnared working against you.
Face danger, right?
Oh,
Yep.
so that Oh, but I didn't hit him before.
Oh, you didn't hit him before. You're fine then. You don't have.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not trying to get myself killed here, just playing fair. I do have 2 tainted. I don't know if that comes to play right now, but just
That will
so
not
you know.
come to play in this. This is a specific.
Thank
this
God.
is a physical, not a mental. So tainted will not work against you. No.
Lovely. Okay, face danger. Blammo. A 10 still.
Ooh,
Nice.
fucking rolls.
No one can
Jesus.
kill me. No one can kill me.
Wait, what? What did you roll? I rolled a 10.
Premeditated harm. Moral armor.
Oh wait, no one can kill you. It's the name
Yeah.
of the
Yeah. 3-3. You're on 3 at the moment.
Death wish.
Death
I
wish.
my health points.
I jumped into the cage.
Yeah.
I covered the kid with my
Yeah.
health.
4. Okay, you're on a 4.
I'm on 5 because he also gave me a health
Yes.
point.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're on 5. Oof.
I'm fine.
Both of you, the ribbons try to bunch up around you as a fist into you,
God.
misses you by an instant. He does not manage to hurt either of you. As this happens, Ned slams into the ground with a crunch. Up in the box, however, Gillian Gales lowers the spear and goes, "Give me fear!" Anton Lynch stands for a moment, sort of stretches his arms, looks to the man, the Scottish play, Puck and Hamlet, and goes, You! And he points to Hamlet, Puck, and Othello. And he goes, "Get the fuck down there. Deal with my unwelcome guests." Puck sort of pulls himself free of a bug going and leaps out of the darkness. Hamlet sort of looks at him, skull in hand, nods, and does a half step before he falls into the darkness. Othello, saber in hand, steps back and also falls until it's just the Scottish play and Anton standing there. Anton steps forwards and goes, "I don't know what you're looking for here, mate. But I'm going to show you." And he steps forward, Roman gladius in hand. The first of the bugs steps up to him. He grabs it by its pincing fingers and stabs his Roman gladius through it, rips it in half and throws it to the side. And he goes, "I killed my brother. You'll be easier than that." And he starts to stride slowly towards Boris, as the bugs continue to roll off his body and spread towards Anton. Anton just cuts them down as if they are nothing. Gillian stands there, pistol raised, shaking, unable to pull off the killing shot, and he goes, "You're not the one I want. Fuck!" And with that, Gillian is going to try and enact one of his powers. At the same time, down in the arena, Nahia, the boar is charging at this point. He has seen you and he's going, and he's roaring and running towards you. What are you doing?
I'm trying to think. Could I go toe to toe?
You could definitely do a toe-to-toe with this boar. He's running directly at you.
She might die. I've accepted this. Time to do all the power tags. Flurry of attacks.
Flurry of attacks? You're not having a flurry of attack. How are you doing a flurry of attacks?
I'm curious what Guru has to say.
I'm going to give a help point.
How?
In a creative manner. Seeing that somebody is charging Nahia and seeing that I can be rather convincing, I just, in the most childish, impulse, just go, "Behind you, dickhead," to distract him for even give him even a moment's pause.
Can you do this over the side of you? Yep. I'll allow it. No, that makes sense. Okay, as you're doing it over the side of what you're dealing with, yeah, okay, I'll allow that.
So So I'm gonna add that. If the thing would let me, please. There we go. So I'm gonna say strength.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say dodge.
Dodge. This would be face danger. Dodge would be for face danger. No. This is go toe to toe.
Yeah. I'm gonna say physical beings. I mean, I assume he's a physical being.
He is a physical being. He is. Yeah, I'll allow that.
I'm gonna say sacrifice needed.
How?
Aren't a lot of people bleeding right now?
Are you gonna cut yourself? Are you gonna like cause a sacrifice right now? There's a difference between someone dying and a difference between a sacrifice. They're two very different things.
I think after her time in the woods, I think she'd realize she can do it herself, and I think she would.
If you're gonna cause yourself a one harm, I will allow sacrifice needed.
I'll do that.
So you take one harm as you, I'm gonna just say you are so fucking muscular that you just crack your knuckles in enough pain that you're like, ah, and it roars you into fucking action. So you are gonna take a plus a one harm as you are in pain, but you do get that +1.
Okay, and that would be under a minus.
It's not gonna be it's not gonna act as a minus to this roll, but it might act as a minus to future physical rolls.
Future rolls.
To this roll, it won't act as a minus, though.
Since it's a go toe-to-toe, would a drive to be the best? Or...
I will allow drive to be the best with this.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a bit shifty, but...
and... I think I'm gonna roll now. Let's see.
That is a 7, which is a mild success. Okay. So, choose one.
That would have been...
So either you cause him damage, or you avoid your own damage. What's it going to be? So he's running towards you. If you manage, I'll give you your options here. If you manage to achieve your goal, you'll stop him from hurting people around you. If you get him good, you'll do damage to him. If you block or dodge him, you'll stop him doing damage to you. Those are your options.
I'm gonna say she's gonna do damage to him.
Okay. He comes running towards you. As he does, his tusks rip through several guests around you. They scream in pain as their guts come rolling across the floor. As he hits you, a tusk goes right into your chest. You are going to take a 3 gourd.
Fun.
Does she not face danger, though?
She is going to make it to face danger right after this. So you're going to take the 3. I need, and you also cause damage to him with a 4 damage as you slam your fist into his chest. I need you to make a face danger.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna reset. Please, computer, please let me click. Okay. So now could I do dodge?
Yes.
Do dodge. Please let me click my other cards very kindly. Endurance?
No.
No, okay.
Endurance is how long you can keep going for. It's not the same as how much damage you can take.
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay, just the +1 then.
Yep. So face danger?
Yeah. That is a 9 mild success. Okay, you're going to take a 2 gourd then, as the tusk slams into your chest, but you manage to hold it back a bit as it rakes across your chest.
Is that on top of the 3, or is that...
On top of the 3 you already have for Tainted? No.
For gourd.
For gourd? No. Okay. You take a 2 gourd altogether, not 3.
Okay.
Your face danger dropped it from a 3 down to 2. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Okay, so you just have a 2 gourd. That's my bad mention. Okay, so as his tusk scrolls across you, Ned has landed in the thing. Elizabeth and Alison are on top of the arena. Maddie and Dante are in the arena. Anton Lynch is in the top of the group box, slashing away at some bugs. Maddie, Dante, Elizabeth, as Fierce sort of is unable for any of you to see right now, what are you doing?
I'm going to do the first thing that comes up in me. I'm gonna take some of that sand and toss it up, see if it hits anything.
The second you take the sand and throw it up, I need you to take an ensnared 1, but I also need you to make it change the game.
Alright, change the game. Normally I would use Cheaters Never Lose.
Cheaters Never Lose is a great one.
Yeah, too bad that one is burned.
Oh, too bad that one is burned.
Yeah, so I don't think does Ensnared work against me again?
It does work against you now.
Oh fuck.
This is a physical action against a physical thing. Oof.
-2, I don't think I have anything that can help me here, so double check, double check. No. That is a
bar fight. This is a bar fight
This
maneuver.
is not a bar
This is a bar
fight.
fight.
This is not a bar fight, I'm afraid. This is not a bar
But
fight.
it's a bar fight maneuver.
Well,
You're chucking something into his face to see where
When
it
is throwing sand a bar fight maneuver?
Sand is not.
Sand is
really
not
hard.
a bar fight
There's
maneuver.
no sand.
If you're in a sandbar, I'm sorry. As far as bar fights go, throwing sand is not a bar fight maneuver.
When
Throwing
you're in Hawaii, throwing sand
is
a bar
too
fight
specific.
I got
Too
it.
specific. I'm sorry.
I've got it.
Way
Have
too
you ever
specific.
been to Belgium?
How about
I have never been to Belgium,
one
but
has.
I have never been
How
to a bar
about-
fight where people have thrown sand. I've never been to a bar fight, but I've never been to.
Oh wait, no, never mind. That doesn't work
That's your
either.
problem right there.
Yeah, no. Here we go. Change the game with a -2. Whoa! 1.
Okay, right. As you chuck sand into the air, your sand whoosh, into nothing. There's a moment of silence before you feel a whoosh of pain in your chest as he is going to use sinews of a bear. I need you to make a face danger. As
Face
a
danger?
fist is going to slam into your stomach.
Again, not trying to kill myself here, but wouldn't that automatically hit
Yeah.
since I missed?
No, you still get
Nope.
the face danger.
Okay, love
You
it.
still get a face
Thank
danger.
God. And Snares works against me.
Snares works against you.
All right. I don't have much for this. Underground fist fighter.
No, that's
Being
for
punched,
hitting.
right?
Mean punch, no.
No. Okay.
Hey, this is for stuff resisting pain. Underground fist fighter, maybe I'll allow because it'll entail that you'll allow that you're able to take a hit. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah. All right. In that case, it's just a -2. Everyone, no worries. Face danger -1. It's a 6.
You feel a whoosh come out of your chest as a fist slams into you with a colossal strength. Now, Fear is a very slight man, but he has a hell of a lot of strength behind his punch. And as he materializes in front of you, all of you can now see him again. His whatever it was that he used to disappear has faded. As his fist slams into you, ribbon wrapped around his fist hits you. You collapse backwards. You are going to take a... Oh, wait, no, you failed completely. You're going to take a 4 broken boned.
Holy shit!
As your
okay.
ribbon shatters beneath his fist and you collapse backwards.
Fuck.
He stands there, his fist held in the air. He turns towards Dante. He goes,
Wait, I'm gonna do something before he does that. Because while he was fighting Maddie, I think Dante will prop up Lily to where she can walk, see that she's walking out of the cage. You know, like the bottom of his shirt torn up as he was making dressing for her wound. He doesn't need to particularly see him to do this. I'm gonna actually hit him with all I've got. And I don't need to see him to do this while he's hitting Maddie. I can just use my words to hurt him.
what?
Ooh.
Stephen Niles. Professor, husband, failure. You know, your reputation's ruined, Stephen. You know that, don't you? You killed a woman and she's not dead. How's now any employer ever to believe you again? Failure after failure. In this world, they'll just kill you. What the fuck else do you have to live for? Right now, the rest of them, they think you're fighting, but you're just flailing because deep inside, and I know how you feel deep inside, you just fucking want to die, mate. You failed your friends, Lawrence, Esper, Lucia. Not only have you never found Leslie, but now you are consorting with the people who have her. So why don't you do yourself a favor? Do your dead wife a favor. Take out that shooter of yours, put it in your mouth, and join her.
I'm gonna need
Please,
two things
any way
here.
I could give a help.
Wow. Okay. First of all,
Yeah,
you're definitely
I was thinking about
this is an attack. So you're taking this ensnare.
Yeah.
You're taking an ensnared one. Second of all,
It's a friendly word.
second of
Sure,
all,
anyway.
what?
A demotivational speech.
Second of all, oh,
She gives me
shit.
help by being alive.
I mean, oh, sorry. There's a lot to that. I'm gonna say that's a hit with all you've got, but I'm gonna say there's a number of things going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a hit with all you've got, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maddie, once he said that, Manny's gonna follow up with by spitting some blood on the ground and saying, "He's right. You fucking suck at this." I want to give him a help point with that.
So, 2 health points.
Yeah, I'm helping by existing.
Hey.
I'm trying to figure out how I could give a help point too, but I don't know. Nahia's
Okay.
not doing well
Okay.
right now.
Was
Commanding
brilliant.
presence.
It was very good.
Commanding.
Okay.
Yeah,
will-
I'll allow commanding
I
presence.
It's taking the center
Death Wish.
stage.
I literally understand how he feels, and I empathize
Yeah.
with it, and I bring it forward to the.
Yeah,
I speak, they listen.
yeah.
So can I use my white tag because of all the things I pieced together? Actually, no. Construct an argument. I constructed an argument for him.
Okay,
To pop himself.
I'm gonna say you can do all of this. I'm saying no. Okay, I'm gonna give you the equivalent of what would be the Blades in the
Stop
Dark,
trying to save him.
devil's bargain type thing.
Oh.
Stop trying to save him.
I'm not trying to save him. I'm saying that you have made a very specific call out to someone right now. You have made a very specific insult that has been very specifically oriented on one theme, which may or may not be true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna say you can choose to do your harm here. No, go ahead. Continue with what you're doing, and I'll go from there.
Okay.
It's a
9.
mild success. Okay. What do you choose?
I mean, they still get the hit, so what do I choose is secure a superior position, I guess.
Okay.
No. I choose to control the collateral damage so it doesn't hurt anyone else.
Good.
Okay. Dante, as you do this, fear turns. The tendrils of his ribbons pouring off him all in one form. His attention to Maddie immediately dissipated. He looks at you with a terrible, all-consuming hate. And you get the feeling the hate is not coming from you, it is coming from him. And you know then that he hates himself. But you are the outlet for that hate. You stand between him and Spider. As the ribbons curl out in one twisting, powerful fist of agony that smashes into you. You are going to hit him with all you got. And as your words hit him, he sags into unconscionable agony. But before he can do that, the weight of his ribbons hits you. You're going to take a 5.
Can I now resist this?
You can resist this. Just wait. You can resist this. This is a 5 ensnared as the ribbons smash into you and hold you against the wall. With the last of your effort, you do manage to get Spider out of the way, Lily out of the way. I need you to give me a face danger to see how much you resist this.
Okay. No one can kill me.
Yes.
Premeditated harm.
Yes.
So he's just hitting me physically.
You also get you also, because you've attacked him, that is a +1. You get another ensnared against you, by the way.
Okay. Do they count against this face danger?
They do will count against this face danger, yeah.
Oh, so they will somehow.
You should
interfere
still
with
have a
my
1
mythos.
face danger.
They will interfere with my mythos protecting me.
You should still just have a 1 minus against you, because 1 + 1, it should still be 1. It shouldn't have reached 2 at this point. So the status should just be 1.
Reached 2.
It has reached 2?
No, the status is 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then the status is 2.
1
then
plus 1 is 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Well, no, because it's. Do you not have a 1
No,
between
there's
that?
no halvesies on 1. There's no halvesies on 1.
Okay, well then you will be
1
on
plus
2.
1 is
Yeah,
2.
yeah. This is a physical thing and will stop. Yeah, it will.
But you gave me ensnared in the beginning of hit with all I've got. You give me ensnared now again.
Yeah, it continues to add. It adds up every time you attack him.
Oh. But I attacked him once.
You've attacked him
This
before,
is
and you attacked him
protecting
again.
himself.
This is him. It continues to add up every time that he's interacted with. It adds again. It's his spittle of a bird continues to add. No, it's
No, but I literally attacked him with hit with all I've got once.
That's it.
And you gave me ensnared.
1.
And
It
now
should
you
be
give me
instead.
another one.
Well, then you should just have the 1. If you've interacted
Okay.
with him 1, it should be just 1 instead.
Okay.
Are you sure you've interacted
So-
with him 1?
I only hit
I
him
am.
with
Okay.
all I've got once.
Yeah.
If you've only
Okay,
attacked
so
him
no
once,
one
then you
can
only have the
kill
1
me.
instead against him. Yeah.
Premeditated harm. Moral armor.
Moral armor, yeah.
I'm right. He's wrong. He can get fucked. And how do I? Oh yeah, this is a minus to my roll. Let's go. Dice, please behave.
That is a mild success. So, you
Minus
take
1.
a 3 ensnared as the ribbons smash into you and rocket you against the wall. Hundreds of ribbons twirling around your body and holding you still for the moment. Spider, however, and it's just slipped past and is heading for the door. You are smashed with a torrent of ribbons. He sort of turns and he goes, "You think you know about me? You think you have a fucking inkling of what I am? I'm going to show you, all of you." And he looks up towards where Elizabeth stands. He goes, "All of you that think you can defy death, that think you have boundaries on what it deserves, all of you will accept my will." And with that, Ned, you smash into the ground. The Urinthian boar has smashed into Nahia, and she is tangling with it. Nahia, Ned, what are you doing?
What is the average rate at which the civilians are dying?
Pretty fucking quick at this point.
What is the fastest way with my power set that I... Also, the second thing, how much noise is going on?
Screams
Everything
are
very
all
loud.
around. Everyone is screaming. Everyone is running. Everyone is sprinting all directions at this point. It is a
Okay.
cacophony of noise.
With my power set, is there any way that I can like slow this down? You know, because I can't. Shit.
You tell me. That is up to you.
Everyone here has mythos, right? Well, that's my.
You
idea.
know that most people are mythoth. Yeah,
Okay.
you know that.
So I need to make a separate roll every time I transfer someone to go. I can't just like run through the streets, bang, 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 bang like that, right?
I mean, at the moment you are standing in the middle of the crowd, in a full golden suit with a golden shield in one hand and a golden sword in the other. Nahia is tangling with this boar-like creature, and there are other creatures flying around. The crowd that remains are running in all directions. Whatever is up to you is up to you.
Okay. What I would like to do is, which one of the creatures is nearest to me?
The nearest creature is the boar that is currently goring through Nahia's chest.
Now, first of all, I look around and go, my shows were never this bad. And then I run around, and then I go to the boar.
Fuck off, Ned.
Yeah, I sprint, I grab him by the ear, and I just scream into his ear because there's so much noise. You fuck, we're on Gillian's side.
Okay, what are you trying to do with this? Give me the roll. What kind of roll are you trying to do with this? Is this to change the game? Is this a convince, or is this a sneak around?
You can define this as what you'd like, but my goal here is to somehow get him to communicate to his other fellows that we're on the same side.
I'm gonna say, okay, as you run forward, I'm gonna say you get the feeling that Gillian, due to frustration and lack of control, has unleashed something that he is unable to tame anymore. He's released something. He has released something. He looked for murderers. He tried to find you guys. You guys didn't want to be his murderers. He found real murderers, and these are not the kind of people that he can control.
Fake murderer.
Who's killing the most?
This guy, everyone. They're all killing. Everyone that Gillian has summoned is just killing, and I'm not gonna say you see this, but no, I'm not gonna say it. Sorry.
Okay. So I take the boar, and I grab his back, and I'm just like, hey neighbor, the Nahia. And I will just, with as much grip strength as I can, just turn him into gold.
Give me a go toe-to-toe. This is go toe-to-toe. As you grab him...
Since he's already fighting with Nahia, could I make this a hit with all you've got?
Yeah, I'll allow this a hit. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. So, the gold touch, right?
Gold touch, yeah.
Can I give a help point?
Yeah, if you want. Do you have a help point with Ned?
I do have a help point with Ned. Can I assume her getting having the shit beat out of her by this boar man, count as the help point? Or does she have to do something?
If you want to just wrestle the boar man down and hold him whilst he does this, yeah.
The gold touch, instantaneous.
Yep.
And I have a improvement that any hit with all you've got with this theme is dynamite.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. I press the thing. Okay. And there we go.
That is a great success, right? Give me what you want to do with this. This is a power 2.
Power of 2?
Yeah.
Does it... Okay, do I get any energy these people care? These people killing people, working in...
You get the feeling that these are fucking murderers who want to kill people. They're happy to do their job, and they are going to continue to do their job regardless of what Gillian says.
I would like to... Well, he gets a 2 anyway, right?
He's going to get a 2 anyway. You can up it to a 3 if you want.
Okay. Petrified 3.
Right.
And I would like to control collateral damage to have it so you can't hit Nahia. I guess he could still hit me in return.
Okay, so he's going to hit you, but he's not going to get collateral damage. So, as he stands there, you grab the side of his tusk, pull it up, and slap your hand to the side of his chest. And as his body begins to turn to gold, he screams in pain, a sort of a wartish, piggish sort of scream. He turns, twists, and he is going to take the power of 2 turn to gold. He sort of staggers for a bit. As his tusk latches out at you, you're going to take a 2 gourd as the gore slashes across your chest. And
Do I roll face danger?
you
for
are in
this
a
or
roll
no?
face danger for that.
Also,
Sorry,
it
it's
gets
gonna be 3
petrified
because he's not. But yeah,
three.
three gourd. You are gonna face danger against that as the gourd slashes across your chest.
Okay.
But he is turning to gold currently.
Okay. Solid gold.
Yep.
Always in effect.
Yep.
And would instantaneous work here?
I'm gonna say no, but your Crimson Aegis would work.
Oh, okay.
As would your golden
the
suit.
fancy
Crimson
pants?
Aegis and golden suit would work. Do you want to use golden suit now, or do you want to save it?
Well, I have from last session's Change the Game Room. I have a two tracking card of fancy pants.
Do you want to use? Yeah, you can use that. No.
It's just a status. It's like the suit, just in general.
Do you want to use suit? The suit will destroy if you use it. Do you want to use it?
I would not like to use the suit.
Okay, then don't use the suit.
Oh, hold on. The Crimson Aegis and the other thing.
The Crimson Aegis will stay. The suit will not.
Okay. The Crimson Aegis 1, right?
So you're not using the suit.
I'm not using the suit, but I am using Crimson Aegis.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so that's power of 3.
Go for it. That is a mild success. You're going to take a 2 gourd as the creature turns and its core rakes across your chest. The scales
Well,
of your...
originally a 2 gourd, right? So wouldn't it be a 1 gourd now?
You already had 2? No, it was originally
No,
a 3. It was originally a 3, so it drops to 2.
Never mind.
So you're going to be a 2 gourd as the tusk rakes across your chest. At the same time, Elizabeth, Allison, you are on top of the cage. What are you doing?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Did my action not result in anything? Did I not give him a status at all?
You did give him a status, didn't you?
I gave him a status of 6, and you didn't say so. You just
Of
hit
the-
me back. We never resolved what happened with the status.
The status is dropped by 3 due to his mythical resistance, but it is a 3 on top of the 3 he already has. Yeah. I won't tell you what that believes him at, but that is a 3 on top of the 3 he already has. Yeah. I'm gonna say he's morally. He is very morally injured. He's not very physically injured, but he's very morally injured right now. Sorry about that, Dante. He is, yeah.
Seeing as he's still physical and he is still down, like with Dante, he's not up here with us. Or at least as far as I can see, he's not.
You, by the way, at the moment you're swinging through the air with Allison in your hands.
We're still on the cage.
Okay, gotcha,
right?
gotcha. Okay, I thought you were, yeah, gotcha.
No, so the thing that happened was we were both on top of the cage. I saw the ribbons coming. I took, like, with the hand that I held, I, like, swung her around to, like,
okay,
the other
gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
So we're still on top there, and now that he is distracted for a second, I'll try to do the thing I said, see if I can look beyond and if there's any vengeful spirits.
Okay, this is another attack against him. This is also going to take an ensnared on both of you.
Well, on both of us, I'm the only one attacking.
On you. Allison sort of is as you pull Allison to the side, her sort of hand is on the side of your sort of coat, holding you. She looks in your eyes as you go, and she's sort of breathing fast as you do this. I need you to give me a go toe to toe because he's aware of you now.
Right. Well, the thing is, we're gonna have to like, if I'm doing to go toe to toe, it means that if there are some, they will immediately do something to him.
Yeah.
If not, then it's not like that. I'm just trying to contact some, and it's not like an attack, right? So like, if it's a go toe to toe, then we're assuming that if there are like souls there, that they can immediately do something, right?
Yes.
Right.
There are
Because
souls
otherwise
there
it's
that
not-
can do something, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a go toe to toe in that function, yeah.
Yeah. don't really have a lot to help me. Ooh, they are sculpture heads, so they're art. So
Oh. I will allow. Fair enough. I'll allow that.
absolutely.
I'll allow
If you would
that.
not allow
It's
that, I
art.
would be.
I'll allow it.
Excuse you.
I can't not allow that. That's fair
Yeah.
enough. It's art. I'll allow it. Go for it.
All right, we'll roll with it. Go toe to toe. Oh,
Ooh.
great success. Oh, that was beautiful.
That is a great success of 14. Right, choose 2. What would you like to do? Would you like to manage or achieve your goal, get them good, or block their best attempts? Choose 2, please.
I will. I mean, the most. Yeah, no, the best way I can see this going right now is the thing I intended to do, is that I managed to achieve my goal. There are, like, attached souls still to or around some of the statue heads, and I get them good with those people.
As Fear stands there, his tendrils of his ribbons arcing around him, he starts to hear voices around him going, Niall, sorry. Another voice goes, I trust in you. Another voice comes across and goes, I love you. And he turns from head to head and he goes, I didn't mean it that way, I'm sorry. I tried to control it, I didn't mean it that way. He looks from face to face as each one of them begin to turn of him now. Each one of the faces turning to him one by one, looking at him. He looks from them, and you can see recognition in his face as he looks from face to face. And finally his eyes fall on the face of his wife. Rebecca Niles looks back at Stephen Niles as he looks, and she cannot tell who he is, and he cannot tell who she is. They stare at one another. He goes, all I wanted, I just wanted for you to be free. And she looks at him and she goes, I hate you. And as she says that, he drops from his feet to his knees. The sand billows around him, the ribbons dissipate, dropping to the ground, as for a moment, the man they call Fear has no reason to fight anymore. The ribbons trail around him like rain in an autumn season, each one flickering to the ground. The silence palpable as he stares at his wife's head. But it is not over. Up in the guest room, Gillian Gales is firing again and again at Anton Lynch, each shot going wide, seemingly without reason. Anton Lynch has cut through bug after bug. The Scottish play stands beside him. Boris goes, die, 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 as the bugs continue to crawl, but Anton Lynch does not want to die. And very slowly he gets closer and closer to Boris. And Boris starts to feel the pain coming closer to him. The blade slashes at him once, and Boris goes, ugh, it's me again! And Anton Lynch goes, yeah, I'm alright. And with that, Boris goes, shit. With that, Boris crumbles into dust, falling apart as if ashes have enveloped him. He clatters and falls to the ground. Gillian Gales is stepping back, still firing at him, and Anton just sort of shrugs off the blows and he goes, "You've pissed me off, mate. Now it's time you die." And he draws up the gladiatorial sword. And with that, we're going to take a very quick break.
This shit is tense,
This shit is tense.
right?
I am faced now with a choice.
Yeah, what's
All
the
in my
choice?
head. All in my head. Neither option is gonna work. Yet I am staying faced with a choice.
I'm gonna go talk to my own Jeff.
I'm gonna go
Is
talk
that
to
a,
Dante's.
is that like a euphemism or something?
I also
gonna
need
talk to
to
his
talk
dick.
my own.
I need to speak to my Jeff real quick.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh,
Alright,
dude,
so we know we've got this guy mentally destroyed. Now it's time to ruin him physically, or just make sure he doesn't ruin us physically.
Time to
You've broken his
Also,
spirit like a
robust.
captive animal.
Also, leave it to Guru to roll a 9 with a power of 6.
Yeah,
No.
fuck. Although,
trash
to be
talking
fair,
critical
you can
damage.
see the equality within the whole game right now. Like, throughout the game, people had great successes and not. Guru
Yeah.
had a lot of great successes like, earlier and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I have lost all of my luck.
I
Yeah,
still
my luck is
have it.
gone.
I love how I began the session by saying that my character has bad luck.
Yeah, who? Yeah.
I kind of just like, at this point, I will not be able to do any like physical things because I will have like a -6 or a -4, depending on if that ensnared still counts.
Starting to
Nahia's
notice
at
that
a -3 right now, and
Right?
I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. That's what she's here for. She gets hurt, she bleeds. She's like, that's her whole thing. I
gonna
do
say-
have a better idea for a backup character in case
Oh.
these murderers, in case these murderers get out of hand.
I
Yo,
love
I-
how Allison hasn't done anything yet, and I'm not gonna point mad on.
Yeah, what is she doing there?
I'm not going to point mad on anything
She's just
because
vibing.
she's just
She's
vibing.
just hanging out.
out.
She's like, yeah, hanging out with my wife.
I gotta say, it's funny how many of the help points are just I'm on the other side of the room and I yell something and that helps them.
Yeah, I mean that's how
It
you
really
help
is.
someone.
Yeah.
Still
I'm gonna go
muted,
get my
Matt.
water and some food. I'll be back.
I'm gonna flip a coin. There's something mentally that I can't decide, and I need to flip a coin.
There's something mental, dude.
Something mental.
Shut
Absolutely
Bro.
radical. Hey Matt,
Hi,
we
Matt.
can't hear you, mate.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
We can't hear you. Mute it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Matt.
okay.
What's up, Matt?
What you having there? Chocolate mousse?
Chocolate mousse, yeah.
Yum. Not you.
Fuck you.
Maybe he is as well. How do you
Maybe
know?
I'm-
Where's
well.
your chocolate mousse?
I am Matt. Why is Matt being turned into two separate things here?
Hey, Matthew.
Matthew. I've changed my
Matthew.
name now, not officially, but my writing name has now been changed.
Dope.
What
Too?
was
Yeah.
it before?
My writing name was Matthew Brooke, but I've sent it out to publishers now. I am now Felix Twingren.
Felix.
Felix, you're
Nice.
Felix Twingren.
Dope.
Too many
Because
letters.
one
What is
grin-
this, a book?
Two Grin.
Yeah,
And
we-
Felix was the name my mother was going to call me before I was born.
Oh, dope. That's also how
So
I kind
Felix
of landed
Twingren.
to live. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to recently also come up with a pseudonym.
What was your
Because
pseudonym?
you're on the run from the police.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was mainly because I realized that at some point I am gonna actually probably get serious about writing a system and that whole thing and publishing it.
Well, my main thing was the fact that like my voice has such connotations, you know.
Literally, Matt, the day before you talked about yours, I came up with mine.
Well, that's really good because I mean, my biggest one is that I have the fucking connotations against my family history that I have to avoid because otherwise people are.
That's not my thing. My thing is my name. People butcher it because they cannot pronounce it. Like that's why you guys don't know it.
But then, okay, fair enough.
It's very difficult to pronounce. That's the
Is it like 40 letters or something?
No, it's just in Armenian, mate. So like a lot of people like have a problem. It's like
I'm surprised you haven't noticed. I've put a number of Armenian mythological creatures in this. I'm surprised you haven't noticed them yet.
Oh, okay. I
question.
don't know them as well as you might think.
that centaur thingy, was that the knuckle of it?
No, it's a horse.
It was a knuckle of it. How do you know that?
I knew it. I heard like skin and bones, and centaur was like knuckle of it. Has to be.
Hey,
I'll be honest.
It was a knuckle of
I'll
it.
be
Yeah.
dead honest with you. Most of the time, I'm not thinking what the mythos is. Most of the time, I'm trying to unravel what the fuck is happening.
Same.
No,
That's my.
normally
You know,
me
I have
too,
a
but
specific
heard
focus in
and I
that
was
game. I
like,
can't like sit
oh.
there and wonder about mythoi most of the time.
There
Love
is
that.
a number of shit in there with you right now. Well, it's quite
Yeah.
fun.
Number
I've
of
revealed
shit
one
is
of
a
them
good
without
way.
me. I've
Number of
revealed
shit
one
is
of them
the
quite
exact way of putting
obviously.
it.
I revealed one straight out without meaning to.
Yep.
Yeah, the Eromanthian boar. I didn't mean to reveal that, but I did just without thinking.
Yeah.
Or what's the other choice? The Caledonian boar.
Yeah, which was way more fucking awesome. The Caledonian boar killed fuck tons of people.
I love
So,
the Caledonian.
The Caledonian boar was way
don't
more
know that
awesome
other
than
one.
the Eurinthian boar. The Eurinthian boar was the one Hercules caught, but the Caledonian boar was
that
the
was
one
the
that.
same.
Yeah.
Ah.
Eurinthian
up
boar was the
north,
one
one
Hercules
down
just
south.
caught. The Caledonian boar was the one that they had the whole gathering of hunters to catch, and only Atalanta managed to wound it, and then. Oh shit, who is it that killed it?
Look, you say boar, I'm already terrified. Those things are
Yeah, that's
way
my
more
thought
horrifying than a
process.
lot of people think.
You said boar, and I was just like, "What mythos? I'm terrified."
With that,
Yeah.
we are gonna. With that
Normal
terrifying
fucking
conjunction,
boar.
with that terrifying conjunction, we're gonna jump straight back into it. So, a number of things are all happening at once as we left things off. Up in the top box, Anton Lynch is stepping towards Gillian Gale, sword in hand, cutting through Boris's creatures one by one. Down below, the Eurinthian boar is goring into both Nahia and Ned Halford. And deep inside the cage itself, Maddie Leland, Elizabeth Weiss, and Dante Coleman are tangling with fear.
Yeah.
At this moment, fear seems to sag. He drops to his knees. The ribbons around him trailing through the air all at once he hits the ground. His eyes are fixed on the statue before him. The head of Rebecca Niles. She's staring at him as he stares at her. And it is almost a beautiful portrait. The red ribbons spread around him like the petals of a flower, coming up to make something amazing. But sadly, it is not something beautiful. It is the terrible tragedy of a man who loved, lost, tried to figure it out, and fucked up along the way. And as he sits there amongst the ribbons, the fight from him is gone for the moment. He sags there. Up in the top box, the continued sound of violence continue, whilst down in the audience, Nahia and Ned Halford tangle with the Eurinthian boar and other creatures that struggle their way through the audience. All of you, what do you do?
Alright, so is he currently looking at his wife?
He is sagged to the ground on his knees, staring at the statue of his wife.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to stumble over to one of the other statues. I'm going to lift up one of those heads, and I want to clock him over the head with it. From behind, obviously.
You lift up
Yeah.
one of the heads, and you stagger towards him, held high above your head. The head in your hands, by the way, is struggling and sort of screaming, going and sort of screaming as you stagger over your head and go to bring it down on him. I'm going to pause with you there, bringing it down towards his head. Nahia, Nahia and Ned, what are you two doing with the Earthian boar at this point?
There is something I would like to do. All right.
Okay.
I would like to flashback. It is a completely... It goes from all this screaming and shouting and all of this stuff to a completely quiet scene. Muted. But it's just Ned gets like stabbed by the boar, and he's like has his hand on it, and he's just looking at Nahia with like this look of like, it's gonna be fine, we're gonna be okay. As he flashes back to like this big Thanksgiving style dinner with Pedro and his family, and they're all talking, and all the lights are on, and even though everything's boarded up outside, you can't hear what they're saying, but you can see them laugh. And it's just a great time, and this is the happiest this is probably the most emotion he's ever seen expressed on Pedro's face. And he doesn't understand half of it because it's in a language, probably two of them. And it's just a nice time. And then it fades back into like the screaming and crying and all of that happening here. And Ned just looks at Nahia and with the same face and says, "We have some beautiful families, don't we?"
She, for just a millisecond, I feel like Ned could see just this array of emotions on her face. She agrees, but there's a boar. But she's guilty because obviously she's been doing not good by her own family. So, is the boar all gold at this point?
You see the left side of his body is turning to gold, but he's still thrashing and roaring. He's still going.
Okay.
I would like to use this flashback to get one juice.
Okay.
And I would like... You can use juice to undo stats.
Yeah.
I would like to be at 1 gourd.
Okay.
No hesitation. That is what I use my flashback for. And Nahia, I recommend doing the next move you're gonna do with buddy system tag.
You're right. You're so right, bestie.
Okay, so you wanted to use your thing for 1 ungored.
Yes, and now it's Nahia's turn because I already went.
Okay. You -1 to your gourd status as you manage to use this flashback. At the same time as this is happening, right. At the same time as this is happening, you are tangling with the boar. I need Nahia, as this creature sort of gores against you and pulls back and goes, half of his body turned to gold. It goes and tries to swing at you with its right arm. I need you to give me a go toe-to-toe, please.
Okay. So can I do buddy system for this?
Yeah, definitely you do buddy system for this. You're with her.
Since now she's more holding off than attacking, could I do endurance?
Yeah, I'll allow endurance. Okay,
Awesome.
yeah. I'll allow endurance for this.
Strength,
Yeah.
dodge.
Yeah, well, no, dodge would be more avoiding. You're going toe-to-toe, so dodge no.
Yeah. Physical beings.
Yeah.
Can I still count sacrifice?
No sacrifices have been made.
Okay.
If you want to hurt yourself again, yeah. But without that, no.
Not gonna risk that. We're
Yeah.
Gord too. We're not gonna risk that. Put Goron and put Harmon. Should I put Harmon?
You should put the harm on, yeah.
Okay, cool.
The harm is going to work against you.
Should be everything. So let's and go toe to toe.
That is a 9 mild success. Right. Choose one.
Ooh.
Are you going to hurt him, or are you going to avoid getting hurt yourself?
I think she's gonna avoid getting hurt this time.
Okay, you do not manage to hurt him, but the gore tries to roar and smash you, but does not manage to hurt you in response. At the moment, you're stuck in kind of a tangle of limbs. Him trying to hit you, you trying to hit him, neither of you achieving. The same moment, the ribbons have now trailed to a flailing circle around the man they call Fear. He sits, staring at the statue of his wife. All fight seemingly gone from him. As the statue slams into the back of his head, I need... Maddie, what check were you making for that? You were making a hit.
Hit with all you've got,
I'm
and
allowed
I
hit for
want to
your
burn Underground Fist Fighter here to, well...
Allow
that
burn,
attack.
allow that burn, yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, hit with all you've got. Here we go.
That is a great success. Choose what you want to choose.
Yep. So I'm going to give him the status Concussed 3.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's say I hit him good, make that Concussed 4.
Okay.
So that leaves me with one more. And I'm going to hold his attention. No.
Hold his attention?
No. I'm, you know what? I'm going to, yeah, I am going to hold his attention. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, your statue slams into the back of his head. There's a cracking, smashing sound as it hits him. And for a second you think the stone has broken. As the statue sort of goes in pain as well, as it hits his head. He also staggers for a moment, sits, swings, and slams down into the dirt. For a moment, he sits still.
Can I pick in?
Wait.
Please do.
As Fear hits the ground, the tendrils of his many ribbons trailing around him, his head slams into the dust. The second he hits the ground, silence almost seems to prevail. All you can hear is the grunting of Nahia and this boar as they tangle, wrestling against one another. Upstairs, the distant sounds of screeching as Anton Lynch, gloriously in his rage, rips apart another bug as he gets closer and closer to Boris, who has twisted from his usual psychotic glee to sudden fear as Anton Lynch has grown closer and closer to him. Most of the rich have gone by now, and this area is a mass of bodies and echoing sounds of almost silent violence. As Fear hits the ground and his wife stares down at him, there is a moment of silence. One by one, the ribbons begin to suck back beneath his sleeves and begin to wrap around his skin. Dante, Elizabeth, Maddie, Nahia, Ned. You watch as the things that trail off fear begin to tangle around him, and you understand. Fear was never the monster. He was the monster tamed, and his mythos was the thing that was taming him. Thread by thread, it controls and wraps around his form until there is not a single shred of flesh remaining. The ribbons cover all. And slowly, with a deep sigh, he rises and turns. What are each of you doing?
Where's Lily?
Lily is in your arms at this point. You are getting her out.
Are we still ensnared?
You are still ensnared.
Oh, alright.
And Lily, didn't she manage to get out?
At this
already?
point, I think, Dante, you think you have gotten her out, haven't you?
No, because you slammed me against the cage.
Yes, you
and
had.
said that she's getting out.
She's getting out.
Yeah,
At this point, Lily has staggered to the door, and she's at the door. She's not fully gotten out yet, but she's at the door.
I'll look at her and I'll just tell her, save yourself. But I would like a chance to get you to your folks.
Lily sort of looks up with you, meets your eye, and with a desperate leap, she jumps out of the arena, hits the side of the railing, catches onto it. The trails of ribbons sort of almost reaching out to her like tentacles, but missing her by a second as she trails out of the arena and staggers out onto the side. The figure that was Niles, now surrounded by ribbons, begins to stand and looks to all of you, goes, "You understand nothing."
I've got its attention, right?
Yeah,
Good.
it is going to make an action against you.
Okay.
I need you to do a face danger, please.
Alright, okay. Face danger, yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I've got... well, ensnared obviously is going to work against me.
Mm-hmm.
Broken bone too?
No.
Thank God.
No. This
Otherwise,
is a different kind of status. Yeah, broken. Yeah,
That would leave me with a -6, so...
No. You're alright for broken bone.
Let's see... I don't think I've got anything here. Right. Well, I'm going to face danger with a -2. So 4. Well, at least I wouldn't have gotten it even if it was a 0.
Okay, you're gonna take a 4 ensnared.
Oh, that puts me at 6.
And with that, you
Wait,
watch.
no, it doesn't.
Doesn't because
never
it's
does.
ensnared on top of the
Oh, wait, no,
ensnared.
it
It's
doesn't.
not on top of your. It's not on top of
Sure.
your broken bones. It's on top of your
No.
ensnared. So
I've
your
got,
ensnared
like,
is
2
1.
ensnared, so
You're 2
that
ensnared
leaves
plus
me at
4. So you should be on
Yeah.
4. Yeah, there we go. Good. Okay.
That's
yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah, I'm
3.5,
on
mate.
That's
not-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I.
So you watch
Chill, I
the
stopped
ribbons
there.
begin to wrap around Maddie over and over into the point where she is barely able to move. As the figure that is barely Stephen Niles begins to stagger around, more ribbon than man, turns to you and it goes... and is going to extend its hands towards the person that escaped its last time. It is going to try and reach for Elizabeth. Elizabeth, Dante, Nahia, what are you doing?
I do want to shout at the others.
I did.
Get out of here!
You
And-
shout that as the ribbons go across your face.
You said, what's Elizabeth doing currently? Because I'm going to change
Elizabeth
again.
is on top of the cage still. Elizabeth, you haven't done something in a while. What are you doing?
I made the fucking statues help us, thank you.
Yeah.
I will in that moment before that, I want to look to Allison and say something to her. I'll let, like, the moment he, like, is sitting on the ground and the ribbons start to wrap around him and all of that is happening, Elizabeth will look at Allison, grip both of her hands and say, "You think it's time for him?"
She looks at you. She goes, I think it's time for him. I can open the door, but you need to get him through it.
All right. He reaches out ribbons. I think.
Let me change the game before you roll.
All right, sure.
Because
my intention is to touch him.
Did say that I got Elizabeth's back, so I'm gonna intersperse myself between the ribbons, between Fear and Elizabeth, as best I can.
Okay, you have a minus for this because you are ensnared. What roll are you trying to do?
-3?
-3? Go for it. Right, -3.
Change the game. Just
go
change
for
the
it.
game.
Change the game, -3. Go for it.
Ooh.
With what pluses you want to try to use?
No one can kill me, because...
No one can come and kill me. It's to stop damage to yourself. That's not to stop to help someone else.
I am jumping in front of the ribbons, though. I'm going, like, literally...
You're trying to leap in front of the ribbons? Okay.
Not leap, but walk.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow it for this.
Premeditated harm.
Yeah.
Moral armor.
Yeah, definitely moral armor.
Buddy system. Hey.
Buddy system, no. You're in a group of 4. At the point that you're almost in a group of 3 at this point. Buddy system is usually a group of 2.
Yeah.
I say no to buddy system.
Death wish?
Yes.
Okay. Let's change the game with that. 1 power. 9.
That is a 9.
Okay,
Mild assessed.
Gonna give 1 status to Elizabeth. To help her out, protect it or something like that.
Okay. Elizabeth, make your check, please. What do you want to make this?
Right. Well, I wanna. You say make your check. You don't even know what.
What do you want? What do you want to check? Make this check. I'm saying as in, tell me what this is. What do you think this is? And I'll tell you what I think it is.
She's gonna try to do the thing that she accidentally did to Jasmine and accidentally did to Tristan. She's gonna try to touch one of the ribbons and try to kind of pull his soul.
That is go toe to toe.
I will also use my 1 juice from the GM likes us here.
Okay, go for that. As you're doing that, Nahia, I need you to give me a go to toe on the boar at the same time.
I will give a help point.
You can give your help point. So Nahia, you have a +1. You're on mute, by the way, Nahia.
Here I was talking. I was saying I was going to do all the same ones from time, which I think was strength, physical constructs, buddy system. There was 1 more.
Not buddy system, because that's burned, I think.
Okay.
Oh, it's burned.
Buddy system is burned.
But I
go
giving a help
for
point.
go roll. Yeah, roll with the help.
Okay, cool. So go. You said face danger.
Go to toe.
Go to toe.
That's a mild success. What do you want to do with your mild success? You could use all your strength stuff here. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I was facing danger.
You know, you're going toe-to-toe. You're fighting him.
Okay. So then that would have... I actually don't think that would have added anything.
Okay, alright. So it's a +1.
So.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna do get him good.
Okay.
Oh, can I do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
Right. So, outside the arena, Nahia smashes her fist into the boar as it gores her again. Nahia, you take another 3 gored. As the boar stumbles back and collapses with a smash and rolls onto the ground unconscious.
We're not doing too hot, boys.
At the same time, Fear, his body surrounded in ribbons, sort of looks up to you and staggers for a moment. You can tell there's barely anything keeping him up at this point. And as he turns to you, he sort of goes, No, I tried so hard. I did everything. You can't take this from me.
Niles, it's time.
Not yet. Please. She's waiting for me and I can change it.
She's waiting for you. It's time.
I could save
Let
her.
go.
I could.
She doesn't need to be saved.
I can. I am. Fear. And as he says that, his knees hit the ground, and one by one, the ribbons begin to loosen. And as they do, he sort of sags to the ground. He goes, I tried to tame them. The monsters. Death. I just wanted to give us a chance to live free. And as he says that, he sags and collapses to the ground. His hand trailing out towards the statue of his wife's head. His fingers tangled in the dust and the sand as if one scrape of a fingertip might bring her back. But it won't. There's a man they call Fear. And he will no longer ever be referred to by that name. For the man they call Fear is dead. He hits the ground with a sag. And as he does, Elizabeth Weiss, Allison, Dante, and Maddie, and Nahia, what are you doing?
I go up to him, check his pulse.
You step up to him. It's almost like a moment of quiet has settled. All you can hear is the distant sounds in the upper box of groaning slashes and cuts As you step up to Niles, the ribbons sort of trailed off his body, leaving marks on his skins where they used to lie. Your fingers touch his pulse, and you find that he is dead.
Without saying anything, I just turn to
Wait a
Elizabeth
second.
and nod.
Wait a second. I want to ask a few things from our GM. So, the touching of the ribbon, was there any... Well, you look surprised. I mean, the last move she did was try to do the same thing that happened with Jasmine and with Tristan, right? As in pull, like, at his soul.
Yeah.
Did she feel anything from that? Did she see anything from that?
Do you want to jump into secrets with me?
Ooh.
Catch a later, alligator. Hi there.
All right.
Oh, hi there.
Hi there. How's it going? As you reach into his mind, you see two things scrambled together. You see a giant wolf tangled in ribbons and left beneath a mountainside, blade in its mouth as it struggles to be free. As you cling to his psyche, you see every monster there ever was. The creatures that lingered in the dark, the things that wanted to be, the things that were misjudged by humanity, all of the tangled, incorrect things by humanity's perception, all held by the people we wanted to hold them by. The knights that killed the dragons, the Beowulfs that killed the Grendels, the Theseuses that killed the Minotaurs. The great beasts of society, one by one, bowed and broken, one by one, and that is what fear was. You connect with him then as he dies and see what his wife saw. She loved him, really loved him, loved every part of who he was. But he could not let her be free. He knew what she was. She was a monster. She was death itself. And by his very nature and the thing that he was, he could not allow her to be what she was. So she broke his covenant. And he was forced to tame her. And in her sadness at being tamed, she took her own life. You see a palette of visions around him, things he forgot or was forced to forget. A young boy they took in as a friend, who they fostered, who loved his wife, for she gave him the freedom and the love that no one else had gave him. And then, as he began to destroy her, he grew resentment to him. You watched as Gillian Gales was made. A person that grew almost as a foster child and became a creature of resentment as he hated his foster father for what he had done to his foster mother. You watched as fear raged against the society of the Order, a culture of death that seemed to connect with those who were the deities of death, the same deities that his wife was himself, and seemed to love that control of death and his urge in which to bring it all to an end. You see that fear truly hated what he was and tried with every ounce of his being to correct that. But of course he never could, for he was what he was. He was set on this earth to bind the things that were not meant to be bound. Set on this earth to put restrictions on the things that were never meant to be restrained. And with that, he was his own destruction. And as he dies now, the last traces of his mind leaving you, you feel only this deep sense of regret of a man who wanted to be more than he was and was trapped in who he was bound to be. The saddest thing that you feel as he dies is not hatred, but love and sadness. And despite all your urge to hate him, you cannot hate him for trying to kill you. Because, once again, he only ever did that out of the path that was chosen for him. And he is gone. With his death, the statues seem to sag around him, one by one, releasing the pent-up aggression they held within him. And with that, we're going to jump back into main.
Hey! Hello.
So, guys, it turns out Fear isn't dead, and Elizabeth sold all our souls.
Oh no!
Okay.
Back to the...
Elizabeth
After-
execution style shot every one of our characters.
I think after
I think we had it coming.
As Fear slides to the ground, his hand outstretched to the statue of his wife, gone now, for good.
Dante checks his pulse, looks up to Elizabeth, probably sees that she already knows at that point. I look at Lily, and do I need to jump or anything to get out of the hole that Maddie made?
At this point, no. You can see that Lily has already moved out of the hole and she's sort of slumped against the side. The various creatures, by the way, are still sort of moving around, roaring. At this point, two things have happened. I'm going to describe the one you don't see because it's still going to have mattered. Up in the top box, Anton Lynch has cut his way closer to Boris. Boris has continued to pour these insects off his body, one by one, them jumping at Anton as he slices them through the air. He gets closer and closer to Boris, sorry. At the same time, Gillian is moving away from him, firing and firing, none of his shots making any of a difference to Anton. He sort of drops his gun, runs to the broken glass and looks over and goes, "Oh no, I'm too late." At the same time, as Anton gets close enough to Boris and shoves his blade through Boris's chest, Anton holds him there for a minute and goes, "Die!" Rips his blade free and Boris drops to the ground. The centaur-like creature turns and flees from Anton as he holds his gladiatorial blade and he just goes, wipes his sword and just goes, "Alright, I'm done." He says a name to the wind, and Anton Lynch disappears. Gillian Gale stands there, his pistol slamming to the ground. The people that he cored still murdering the various people in the audience. The effects of what he's done hitting him at once as he sags and looks down, and he goes...
Elizabeth looks up at him.
Elizabeth looks up at him, and Elizabeth, your eyes meet his as he meets yours, and he goes... You just see him mouth the words, he goes... It was supposed to be me.
Okay. Can I get out of the cage? Or do I need to make a roll? Can I get
You can get out of the cage.
At
the moment, I'm going to say the creatures that are murdering people are going to begin to stop and run from the area.
Okay.
Silence is completely set and violence has stopped at this point. You are left in a moment of complete silence. Bodies surrounding all around this circle. Bodies in the upper box. The body of the Orenthian boar beside you, Nahia and Ned. The body of Fear in the middle of the arena. Everyone else has fled. You are all that remains. What do you want to do?
I get to Lily. What does she seem like? Is she still hurt?
She seems a little on edge. Not incredibly hurt, but hurt. She sort of looks at you, panting and blood-soaked, and she goes, "Who are you?"
My name is Dante.
What do you want?
I want to take you home.
You... What is this? What is this kind of joke? What is this?
No. I didn't know you were gonna be here, right? But when I saw you, I recognized you. You're Lily Stone, aren't you?
You know my name.
I'm looking for someone. And during my searches, I came across your name.
Who are you looking for?
My little girl.
As you say that, I'm gonna leave you there. What is everyone else doing?
I'm going to stumble over to Thomas, check how he's doing.
You stumble over to Thomas, bleeding from 100 different cuts. Left eye exploded, blood pouring down his left side of his face. He goes, "I told you I'd fucking win, didn't I?"
Yeah, you would have gotten. You would have gotten it.
I had her against the ropes. I'd have won.
Yeah, I think that one counts.
Last minute change. I would have been fine. It just.
Does he look like he's going to survive this? Like he's going to survive like half an hour.
You look at him. It looks rough. He might survive, but
I call out Ned's name.
He looks worse than Spider does, definitely.
I would like to say, as soon as like Fear dies, I want to just look around. What if I guess? How many of the people who are dead are actually dead immediately, or just like bleeding?
You look around. Most of those who are dead are dead. The ones who are injured seem to get out by some means.
Okay. So, I look at Nahia. Can you still throw?
She takes a deep breath and she goes, "I think I can."
And for the third time, hop me up there, like you did with everyone else. I do that. I go to him. I go, well, I look at him. How's he doing?
Who?
I'm next to Maddie and next to, like,
Thomas.
Just.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You hop up onto the cage, the cage, get in beside Thomas. He's not doing great. He will probably die if he's left to bleed out for a good time now. He's not looking great.
You've done this before, right?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
It's temporary.
It'll be fine. It'll be worse if you don't let me do it. Hey man, we put up a good fight. I had good money on you.
I did more than a good fight, right? Matty, wait.
What? Yeah,
Wait.
yeah. What?
I did good, right? I did good.
Oh, you were fucking killing it out there.
Don't let him know I got beaten by a fucking kid, right?
Nah, you're good.
I turn him into gold. I don't want to risk this conversation.
As he's saying that, he doesn't even resist. The forms as gold begins to form over his face and down his arm and over as he clutches your hand, Muddy, and he turns into gold.
Maddie kind of just drops to the ground at that point. She's fucking exhausted.
You need one of these too?
Oh, no, I'm good. I just need to get myself to a hospital. Think I broke a rib or two.
You feel like getting there without dying?
It's just a broken rib or two. I've had worse. Oh, not really. It's kind of the worst it's gotten.
As
Please, just trust me.
No,
Let me-
don't. You dare.
You're gonna die. Like, come on.
Look, one fist is nothing compared to a bloody car crash. Just let me be. I'll just call an ambulance.
Man, you are annoying. And I walk off.
Halford,
Yeah?
thanks.
No problem. Oh, then to undo it, let him soak.
Yeah.
I go over to Dante.
as you go over to Dante, Dante is
Wait,
out
say
of, Dante is
anything.
out
I'm
of
waiting
the
for
arena.
you.
Dante is out
Yeah.
of the arena by this point. So I'm going to say
Okay,
you're
never
going to have to move, as you're moving to like jump out of the arena. Elizabeth,
I'm not
you're...
going to Dante then.
Okay.
She's still in. If she's out of the arena, I'm not going. I just go next to Elizabeth and stand.
So you stand next to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, at the
No,
moment.
so Elizabeth is basically still on top of the cage.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say, the statues all seem to sag.
Yeah.
Are they the heads? Are they still there? Specifically,
They're
the
still
one of
moving.
the-
They still seem like they're taking a drawing in breath. They're still like
Right.
they're just sagging as if they're tired.
Also, the one of Rebecca Niles.
Yeah.
Right. Then I briefly glance down to those heads, look back up at Gillian.
Gillian sort of is
say-
watching you and he goes,
Let's. Why don't you say goodbye to your mother? For real this time.
you say that, and he sort of stands very slowly amongst the shattered glass and takes a step into the air. He seems to glide down as if floating on the ambient air around him. Hits the top of the cage and very slowly steps into the cage and glides down on that as well.
Elizabeth
The
also
sweet-
drops down at that moment.
The sweet smell of the air surrounds you as you both drop around to the ground. This pleasant sort of essence around Gillian as he lands to the ground, his high-heeled boots sort of clicking one after the other into the sand. He turns and he looks at the statue of Rebecca Niles and moves towards it. He goes, "Hello, Mother. I'm really sorry I tried. I made him forget you. Oh, forget me. At least. I'm so sorry." And he steps towards his hand, sort of tracing across her face, and he goes. But she doesn't respond. The statue sort of just sagging against his hand. He goes, I tried, Mother. I really tried. I tried. And he sags to the ground on his knees in front of the statue of Rebecca Niles.
Elizabeth kneels down next to him and fairly reluctantly puts a hand on his shoulder.
He just weeps the second your hand touches him. Weeps not just for the things that he wishes he could have done, but also the things that he did. You get a feeling that every body in this arena he is weeping for. The mistakes that he made in gathering murderers to do murderer work. Gideon Gales weeps. Outside the arena, Dante, you stand beside Lily. What do you do?
We ended on me answering her question. How does she react?
She sort of sags there for a moment, and Give me your question, sorry, quickly.
Her question. She asked who I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, you said in your little girl. She goes, who is she?
What do you mean?
We were kept in many forms, all of us. Many places.
What do you know?
I know where I was kept.
Alright. Let's go get you. See you about your wound.
No,
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm gonna be alright. It's just a flesh wound. I've had much worse, trust me.
I trust you. Do they do
Don't
this to
try to,
everyone?
you're not my, I'm fine.
I know I'm not your...
Shut up.
I'm afraid I won't. I do want to take you home. Will you let me?
Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright.
He walks next to Lily, and I know she doesn't want any help. But she can walk on her own, so he gives her that respect and just walks in step towards the exit.
You walk in step towards the exit.
I don't want to make you say anything you don't want to say. If you do want to tell me what I keep you, I'll be grateful. But I won't make you.
She looks at you. She goes, this is way beyond what you're thinking. And sags and falls asleep against your arm.
Okay, at that point I'll just take her in my arms and walk towards the exit.
You walk towards the exit. Nahia. Ned Halford. The Orinthian boar sags unconscious beside your feet. The rest of the creatures seeming disappeared with the disappearance of their leader and the last of their bloodletting. What do you do?
How close did Ned go to the arena?
The edge of the arena right now, yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who would be closest.
Who of us, or
Yeah.
because currently, for as far as I've understood,
Ned, Maddie, and Elizabeth are in the arena,
yeah.
and Dante just left.
Dante left, and also Elizabeth
Dante is
still
leaving.
on top,
There's a
right?
difference. Elizabeth
you
not
can
is not.
literally
Elizabeth
see
is
him.
in the
Oh, you
arena,
lie down.
standing
Okay.
over the body of Fear,
Yeah.
beside Gillian Gale, who is now in the arena.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
am closest to Nahia, I think.
Yeah, I kind of depends. I guess we're pretty close, all of us.
I think
Maddie's
she would.
just sitting in the sand next to the golden body of a friend.
Yeah, I think she would go to like where the door is on the arena. She'd be standing like at the edge. She wouldn't be trying to get up there.
Okay. Okay.
She calls up and she's like, "How are you doing? What's the damage up there, Nayland?"
2 broken ribs, at least. I think Fear's dead. I think. My friend here needs to get to a hospital or something and be ungoldened. Needs serious medical attention. I mean, me too, but I'll hang in there. Elizabeth, how are you doing?
Oh, you're...
think she's paying attention to you right now.
Wait, hold on. Maddie hasn't even met Elizabeth in person before, so she wouldn't just say that. She wouldn't just say that.
Yeah, she wouldn't
I'm
just
like,
say
wait
that.
a minute.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
with. I think I'm
And-
at Gore
And to be honest,
3
all of
or
the
Gore-
others also think she was dead.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very good point.
Missing.
Everyone else up to this
Missing.
point thinks she's
Yeah.
missing.
Missing.
Not dead. None of you know that she's dead.
So,
you just know she's missing.
Instead of that, Maddie says, Elizabeth finally showed up. She says to Nahia, and starts to fumble in her pocket to pull out a packet of cigarettes. Gets a smoke.
I was gonna ask with Gore 4, how bad is Nahia doing?
You are pretty you're roughed up. You're not like dying, but you're roughed up. Like you are on the edge of the point. Like your fucking chest is ripped as shit. You're bleeding heavily, but you're not like on the edge of death. You're just managing.
Damn, and her outfit looks so good.
It looks so good, yeah.
Looked.
It was. She sees Elizabeth and looks completely dumbfounded. And she just goes, "So, hiding in plain sight? Have you just been here the whole time?"
As Gillian is weeping, after a moment of that, she will look to him and try to get him to look up as well.
He does look up at you. His eyes are weeping. The black mascara in his eyes is just pouring down his face. She goes,
May you do something for me?
I loved them. And I hated them at the same time. Parents, I suppose. I wanted him dead for what he did. And now he is. He sort of looks back to the body of Fear and he goes, I miss him. What do you want?
Think of them again for me, please. Right now.
All I have are thoughts of them. All
He
right.
shakes his hands at that moment.
You take his hands.
And we'll try to glimpse into what he's feeling right now.
You connect to the good moments. The moments where Rebecca and Stephen Niles were just names of two people who had adopted a young and impressionable young orphan and adopted them into their ranks and raised them as their own. Before Rebecca had begun to show signs of the order, before Niles had begun to sort of drift away from her and viewed her as the monster she was. Before she had become an Archon of Death and him an Archon of Control. You see the happy moments that they had. You do.
She lets go of the hands again. And I'm gonna give you... No. First, you're gonna take your time say goodbye to them. I'm gonna finally give your mother the peace that she deserves.
I thought killing him would give her peace. But it hasn't. Can you give her the peace? I couldn't.
I think Elizabeth looks up at that moment to Allison.
Allison stands there. Her eyes are tracing over the various heads around you, each one the representation of a member of the Order who had turned away from the Order and tried to be free and had been transformed into statue form. She looks at them each and goes. She just looks at you and she nods.
Elizabeth reaches out a hand for Allison.
Allison's hand reaches out and curls around yours.
Without really knowing what is supposed to happen or how this should happen, Elizabeth will just lay a hand on the statue of Rebecca Niles.
Your hand.
And-
Go for it.
No, absolutely.
Go for it. No, tell me what you're going to do first.
The thing is, she always used to have these feelings when she would draw things down, like she had with the manor,
Yeah.
like she had so many times ago. She would draw things down and then she would feel something passing on.
Okay. Reaching out, a flash of memories pass before you, a dream of people resurrecting and eternalizing bodies, mummifying them in stone. The mythos is forming these things into eternal beings, a form of immortality that whoever was that created these longed for. And you realize that the horror of immortality is that there is no end to it. Your fingers reach out, and as you touch the face of Rebecca Niles, Gillian Gale sobbing beside you as each one of the heads connect one by one, click by click by click, each one of them responding to your touch. Allison's hand curls around your shoulder. And just like that, a door begins to open. The door between this world and the next. The door between life and death. And one by one you feel the fear of these statues begins to abate. They stepped into this domain for the fear of someone else or the fear of themselves, to avoid death, to escape it. But you know better. Death is just death. And one by one, as you touch the statue, they slip through the gateway that Allison opens for you, your judgment passing upon each as they do. They were not all good people, but they passed through judgment. And as death opens its gates for them, they pass through, and the first time you feel genuine peace between them. And they are gone. One by one, the statues sag until they are just stone. as you ease back from that, Dante carrying the young girl from the arena, the rest of you there in this moment, we're going to jump several days into the future. So each of you are going to get to go over what happened in this time jump, but for the moment, we're going to jump several days into the future. Now, I would like you to tell me very briefly, because we're going to go into detail what exactly you did, but just tell me very briefly in the next 3 to 4 days what it is you did with the next 3 to 4 days. And we'll go into detail, yeah.
When I walk out of the place, what the hell does it look like?
You step out into a broad, calm night. No
It's
wind,
not raining
no
anymore?
storm, no rain. The storm has abated.
Oh,
That's
Does it
big
come-
information.
Completely.
does it come back in those days?
Nope. It's gone.
So Dante will move with Lily in hand. Think towards his place. The next few... So, if you knew what's happening in my head, the next
I
few
know.
days are going to be so hectic.
Don't worry. I know what you're thinking. We'll go over that stuff. Just give me
You know
a
about
very
60% of
yes.
what I'm thinking.
I know what you're thinking. Just give me the briefest sort of as brief as you possibly can version of the next 3 to 4 days. What you're thinking.
Try to gain her trust. Try to tell her that. And if I don't, that's not the priority. I still want to get her to her parents. I do know. Fuck, I don't. This is so impersonal. I know a few things.
I know, but just I know it's impersonal, but just give me
I'll
the
try,
barest
in
minimum.
simplest, barest terms, I'll try to get her back.
Yeah.
I'll try to talk to somebody about some things, but I can't tell you. I mean,
Okay, gotcha. Elizabeth, what are you doing in the barest meantime as you leave this with?
As we leave, Elizabeth is going to give an address to Gillian where he should come visit in 2 days. Address being her home.
Okay.
She's gonna spend some time painting. Planning to give something to Gillian. And after that, talk about maybe finding a different home in Ullmanoch with Allison.
Okay. All right. Ned Halford, what are you doing this time?
Well, one final thing before we do the time skip. I wanted to have like this thing of just looking over the room once, just seeing the mounds of dead bodies, that smell in the air, and just being like, I mean, he's right. I should feel something. Why don't I? And then we do the time skip. Does my bet work?
Which bet? The specific, give me a one.
Well, first of all, neither of them die, right? So I conclude that bet does not occur, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one I made, if I survive until tomorrow morning, me and Anton Lynch are best friends.
You go up to the betmaster. He is unmoved by the violence, dusts off his desk, and signs various papers and hands them to you. It seems like you have been cashed in on your bet.
I spend the next few days very carefully trying to avoid all involvement. I meet with a few business meetings with Anton Lynch and the other guy, the Arabast, right?
Abbas Bale, yeah.
Arabast Bailey, and I infuriatingly slowly introduce them.
Okay. Marty Nealon,
And I also check if Piper's still there. Is he still there?
He's still there.
Okay, good.
Maddie is going to get her friend T Golded as soon as she can. And after doing that, she's gonna call 999, get both a friend and herself an ambulance.
Okay.
And while recovering, she's going to find out something new about herself.
Okay. We're going to go into each of these things, by the way, separately. Yep. Well, yep. Good to know. Okay. Nahia, what do you do with your free time?
I say similarly, she basically stumbles out of the building, the underground, drives herself to the hospital. I don't think she would call an ambulance. Like,
Oof.
Rude!
Boss lady, right there. Boss
to be
lady.
fair, there's only one of her. She doesn't have to deal with a friend too.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably would tell Kingston, be like, "Oh, something happened. I'm in the ER." And
Kingston
then she
is-
probably has to lay low.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't be able to practice while healing from that.
Kingston is as loving and supportive as always, cooking you food and looking after you.
Good for him.
As the days passed for each of you, around 4 days later, you receive the invitation. It's a very small note, noted beneath each of your doors. Just a destination, an address, with GG beneath each one. And Elizabeth, specifically Elizabeth, he turns up at your door in the car. He's wearing a black suit, but a long suit, still overtly stylish. Black sort of chained, crystalled necklace around his neck, shirt still open to the lowest button. Short man, but his heels make him taller. Standing at your door, Gillian knocks at your door.
After a moment, the door will open and Elizabeth will be in the doorway.
Miss Weiss, sorry, I made a terrible impression of myself in the last few moments. I've made a few mistakes, I understand, but I apologize.
She completely opens the door, steps back, smiles at him. Would you maybe like a cup of tea? I have something to give you.
Well, actually, I was wondering if I could offer you a cup of tea, if that would be all right, if that suits with you. I would quite like to offer you one. I know I have not given the best of impressions, both first impression, second, third, and fourth, but you know what they say, fifth time's the charm. I've extended an invitation to you and all your friends. Quite frankly, I'd like to make things right.
You know what they say. 7 times the charm.
That is what they say. 7 is a very lucky number.
Wait for a second. Please, if you're not gonna
No,
come in,
no,
then
of course.
wait here.
Take your time.
She leaves the door open. If he wants to stay outside, he can stay outside. If he wants to come in, he can do so. But she momentarily leaves to go upstairs. And after only like a brief moment, she comes back down, holding a rather large paper-wrapped square.
Are you ready to go?
right now?
Well, I thought so. I've sent messages to your friends. I had supposed.
Sure. Just let me grab a coat and I'll be with you. But she holds out the square to him.
He takes it and unwraps it.
It's a portrait of not just one of his parents, but both Niles and Rebecca.
They look much happier than they ever did, and
Bullshit.
thank you.
We both know that maybe they weren't happy all the time, but they were happy with you. And at some moment you were also happy with them.
It is a problem that we face with this world in which we live in. That sometimes the stories overtake the basic living of what we are. I'm happy for the moments we had. And I accept what we became. His fingers traces over the portrait, tracing mainly over his mother, but his eyes do linger over the adopted father that he had. He goes, he was not a bad man. He was just consumed. Thank you, Miss Weiss. This was very kind of you.
Please, call me Elizabeth. And she takes a oath to...
Very well. Elizabeth. Very well. He steps into the car, and you drive off. Each of you receive the message. It's a very simple one. An address with GG beneath it, and a message that just sort of says, in Gillian's words, that I want to make things right.
I mean, Maddie is gonna go there, yeah?
Maddie goes. Nahia?
Nahia goes. I think she, on the burner phones, would reach out and see if the others got something.
Okay. Nahia goes, and you check.
I'll
Yeah.
go.
Ned goes. Dante?
Yeah.
Do I by now remember who he is, though? I don't remember who he is.
At this point, you will. He has released his powers. You will remember who he is, yeah.
I don't.
Do I remember the things he said in King's Oath?
You will, yeah. He's allowed you to remember, yeah, you will. It's up to you the way you take those things.
I don't know. So I don't know what happened in those 4 or 5 days. But yeah, I guess I'll go with this.
Don't worry, we'll go over those 4 or 5 days. Okay. Each of you arrive in a sort of strange location in the center of Candle Street, almost bordering with Tomb Street. You find yourself in front of a very large, impressive-looking pub, in front of which is a sign that says, "The Oath Fulfilled." You step in front of it and find a extremely nice pub, the top side of which has been turned into an office. Gillian Gales steps out of his car and bids you out of yours, Elizabeth, as he brings you inside. And as one by one you arrive and enter into this pub. It is a large thing, almost a jazz pub, similar to the Wicker Hound, but not quite. A large space with a bar, fresh wood, and enough area for people to listen to music, but also take seats, and upstairs an office area for which people to sit and regard possible cases. Gillian steps inside and waits for each of you to arrive. One by one you do, and he says, I am terribly sorry for the ways that things have turned due to my own mistakes. I started out this journey looking for murderers, and I have realized that murderers lead to blood, which was not what I was expecting, rather as foolish as it seems, but not quite what I was looking for. I have found blood, and it was not what I expected to find. I have since figured that there is much wrong with this world. The Order, the Council, the many true creatures that roam the streets. My mother and father were not my real mother and father, nor were they good people. But I believe that I have decided to be a good person, finally. I came looking for murderers. I ask instead that all of you be helpers, saviors. This city that we live in is
an abomination.
Yes. A cascading ruin of nonsense and madness that I hardly recognize. I was corrupted and polluted by it myself. And I truly think we can do better. Which is why I turn to you.
You want to start doing better?
I want to try and do better.
This place, is it protected?
By my skills.
Then I have some people who might appreciate a habitat.
I can do that for them. The best I can, protect them, make people forget them, the best that I can. But in return, you have a responsibility that I cannot uphold myself.
No, mate. That's not in return. We're not trading here.
No, it's not a trade, it's a simple responsibility. I will do what I can if you do what you can. There is nothing beyond that. You do what you can to help, and I will do what I can. Is that enough?
Again, if you've seen our work, then you don't have to ask that. Is that all?
Yes.
Then expect guests. Dante with that just turns and leaves.
Dante turns and leaves. He sort of looks and he goes, all right then. I've never owned a pub, but I suppose it slancher to the future. And he holds up a glass. He goes, to making things better. And he downs one of his own pints.
Elizabeth stands up. Golden tip for being a pub owner. Try not to piss off the wrong people, or if you do,
At least try not to die.
Miss Weiss, if there is
I
one
need to
thing
think
I'm not
this over.
scared of anymore, it's death.
I'll get back to you.
And she turns to leave, looks at the other three in the room, briefly at Maddie because she doesn't know who she is. So mainly actually at Nahia, kind of at Ned as well. Says, "We'll talk sometime, all right?"
Nahia nods and goes, "We'll talk."
Right. And she also leaves out the door.
And as you leave, one by one, Gillian Gale's behind the bar, downing the last of his drink as he places it onto the counter. For the first time in a long time, content with doing something that he feels is right. Each of you disperse, going back to the families and the lives you inhabit. And about you, the city continues to churn. About you, the violence continues and the monstrosity of these powerful individuals. The Anton Lynches and the fears and the sleepless, white-eyed men continue to take their advantage of this place. But not for long. And that is where we leave you all. In that moment, the camera spanning up above the city, behind this tiny new pub, the oath fulfilled. And that is the end of case 3.
Bravo! Woo!
What do you mean
Oh, awesome.